You can look around, Dexter, and let us know.
Round 2 of football in South Australia. We're coming to you from the Parade Oval. And Norwood do battle with Sturt, and what an interesting game it should be. Norwood, good victors last week. Sturt certainly not disgraced in a hard-fought battle with Port Adelaide. But it's Norwood into attack first. Duncan Fosdyke, the experienced wingman, down to Pascoe. The left footer is a bit offline, goes to the left forward pocket, out of bounds on the full, and David Wellsby to take the free kick. And Dexter Kennedy, wonderful conditions for football.
Perfect conditions for football here. We should see some of these great skills that both these sides possess come out today.
Pascoe about to have his second kick of the game. Playing it centre half forward for the Redlegs. That's not a good kick. Into the centre half forward area, over the head of Russell, picked up by Visser. Chance now for Darvin Neeser as he gets a high kick. Sun gets in Reed's eyes and he lets Wellsby take the mark. So Wellsby deep in defence at the moment, looking for someone up forward. Leanett from the side of the pack couldn't take the mark. Pike, who had such a big game last week, something like 24 kicks, and he gets his first kick of the game here today.
So James Pike, and what a welcome return as far as Norwood are concerned from that crippling injury he had the previous year down at the Bay. Ivan Muster, centre wing, looks in towards full forward. Lead from Weston, too far for him. Coming in late though was a Pindo, couldn't take it. Richter the chance for Sturt. Out wide to a vacant half-back line. The race is on. Richardson first to it, scoops it up beautifully. Shepherded well, spins inboard and finds Visser. That's well done, Stephen Richardson. Can be a player that runs hot and cold at times, but that time he was hot. Picked it up beautifully, hence this great conditions we've got here. A lovely little left foot pass to Darren Visser. And his left footer now, long in towards full forward. That's a good kick. Well, he kicked it from a good 45 metres, the little left footer. Through she went. And that's the first goal to the Redlegs.
And just the start that Norwood would have wanted there. Visser, a very, very good player, young player, hasn't played many games, but that would give his confidence a big lift.
Now he's played 5 league games, Darren Visser. And that's a good start to Norwood. It's 1 goal to the Redlegs. Sturt yet to score. Thought we might have had a jet go over at that stage, but obviously not. Picked up by Painter. He had a good week last week too against Port Adelaide. Scott Russell towards centre wing. Thorpe was dispossessed. Picked up by Muster. Back it goes to Muster. Now it goes to Fosdyke. Frost on the bottom of the pack. Bit of pushing and shoving. But the free kick has been sorted out and it's going the way of number 4 for Sturt, and that's Frost.
And Sturt have thrown their side around a bit from the start, from the name side. Frost has started on the wing against Fosdyke, where he was named in the back pocket to start.
So it's on the centre wing there. Martin Gallagher went straight past over, and there's Scott Russell getting a kick, and he's one of the players that's come back into this Sturt side today. In fact, both the Russell brothers have. But there's a good handball by McCarthy, cut out by Murdoch, and back to the centre. Johnny Painter dropped what he should have taken. Don't see him do that too often, and Norwood the chance to group in defence. Payne played well last week. Good handball to Pike. He was their best player last week. Richardson, prominent early. He's on the centre line and drags it back out in front of Weston. It's a long lead, a good mark, and a beautifully placed tip.
And that's another one of those changes that Sturt have pulled. Walker's come up from the wing to Stan Weston at the opening. Big
Hine is in the square. One out with Wellsby, pushing and shoving. Neither of them can get to the football, and it bounces through for a minor score. So Norwood moved to 1-1. Sturt yet to score, and we played 5 minutes first term.
So McWilliam to put this ball back into play. There's a lead out there on this half-back line. Whittlesey, the captain of the Double Blues. Maynard flew, the 4 acceptances. Picked up by Hall. Payne. High kick, in fact it was Thomas. Weston couldn't take the mark, and the umpire comes in and he'll ball it up about 30 metres in front of the Norwood goals.
That looks like an interesting contest, Walk and Weston. Weston, a very experienced campaigner. Walk, not so experienced.
1-1 plays no score at the moment. Norwood lead by 7 points. Field sprints away and goes wide out toward Russell. Oh, well done by Gallagher, though. Slips over at the psychological moment, gave it back to Thomas. Back it goes to Gallagher. Well, he did recover well. Got a good handball from Thomas, and that kick was beautifully placed by Gallagher. And Hine has taken the mark about 35, 40 metres out, almost straight in front. And I wouldn't think, John, this is beyond him.
No, it's not, but just a quick thought. Well, you can class him as a recruit, I guess, this year. A very experienced one, along with Keith Thomas and 1 or 2 other players.
Yes, back from the Brisbane Bears. Good-looking kick by Hine. No doubt a lot of experience from the VFL last year. Hine gets his first, Norwood get their second.
Yes, and that's going to be a trouble spot for Sturt all day. Big Hine and Hall when they're resting up forward, both very, very big players. And if the Sturt players in Royston right on their game, they're going to cause them all sorts of trouble.
So big Neil Hine, as we mentioned, fresh back from the Brisbane Bears, and certainly, well, a lot of value there for Norwood, as there has been with the return of Keith Thomas. Of course, Paul Weston transferring over. Good recruits and plenty of experience. And Norwood, of course, today, though their depth is being shown because of some of the players that fronted up in the reserve grade side, and see, they've got a good lineup of talent, Norwood. Weston pushed under that one. Umpire John Hilton says that was the case. And he receives a free kick, and of course he has to be watched very closely, Dexter. He is such a dangerous player.
Oh, Paul Weston, a very, very experienced player, and as he showed earlier this year in the Foundation Cup, can win a game off his own boot.
Capable of kicking very long goals. He's about 40, 45 metres out. The distance isn't a problem. The accuracy is on this occasion. But Norwood moved to 2 goals too. Sturt yet to score.
Weston played a quarter up forward last week against Glenelg, and he'll add valuable experience to what is a relatively inexperienced forward line as far as Norwood is concerned. Leanett almost took the mark. McWilliam got a lightning handball from Frost, and William goes into the right forward pocket. That's a lovely place kick. Good work by Murdoch, though, as he knocked the ball away from Odie. His outstretched hands looking for that mark, but Murdoch, good defensive work. He had a good game too last week, Murdoch. One of their best, along with Pike. The boundary throw-in taking place in the right forward pocket. Big Hall and Kitchke. Got a bit of extra height down there with Reynolds on the ground for Sturt. Kitchke won it down to Y. 2 useful goals late in the game last week against Port. There's an experienced campaigner, Frost.
You mentioned the 3 big fellas on the ground there for Sturt, Mark, in Leanett, Reynolds and Kitchke. And on the small ground, long kicking and that extra height to give you a bit of power in the sky isn't a bad idea.
No question about that. High kick, and it'll drift out of bounds on the full, so the advantage to Norwood. This will be Murdoch. Pascoe calling for it. It was a Pindo, in fact, number 51, and that's where the ball goes. Oh, there's a strong mark taken by Leanett, and what a great player this young man is turning out to be.
He played very, very well against Port Adelaide last week. I thought he shaded Hine, and he's going to be a player of the future for Sturt.
Well, his kick went into the half-forward line, but there is Ivan Muster for Norwood. He's taken a strong mark, copped a bit of attention. And now it's coming back to this centre wing. Well, they're playing kick for kick at the moment. Pascoe up high, straight through the back. McWilliam actually marked that. I don't think he realised it himself. Got it on quickly to David I, and then in towards full forward. A good mark by Warhurst. Straight on with the game to Gallagher. Got a bit of room. Scott Russell closing on him, but he gets the kick away. David Payne coming out there, so too Richardson. With them, Darvineser and the Sturt defenders hold that promising move by Norwood up. But Dexter, they have the ability to run it out of defence.
They look very, very dangerous when they get that loose man going, Norwood, don't they?
Another interesting move for Sturt. They appear to have Tony McCarthy at centre half forward. There's a very good mark, but we're used to seeing him as a defender. It's in his direction at the moment, but John Painter's there for Sturt. Onto his right foot, the non-preferred one. Coming out again, Warhurst. Cross towards Pike on the half-back line. Has the time to gather. Look down to the centre wing. The long kick is a beauty to Pascoe. And Norwood moving much more efficiently than Sturt at the moment. To centre half forward, but McWilliam there again for Sturt. And he's a good, strong player. Dodges and weaves, gets past Bizzer, brings it to the grandstand side centre wing, searching for Painter. Doesn't let him down, was paid at the second grab, perhaps a bit lucky.
So Jack Painter, been such a great player for Sturt, left footer, right forward pocket. Maynard knocked it away, and it'll go out of bounds, and that's McCarthy, number 2 for Sturt. It's 2-2 Norwood. Sturt are yet to score. They've threatened to a couple of times, but haven't got a score on the board as yet. Perfect conditions, as we've mentioned. Magnificent day here at the Norwood Oval. Richardson had a few touches already, and a few very useful touches into the centre. Lean it again. He's in everything at the moment. Picked up by Pindo, goes forward. Didn't really look. Payne is out there, but Richter's way out in front of him, and Richter pushes it toward the boundary line as he tried to pick up. That's Reid way over there on the outer side of the ground, and there'll be a ball in just to the right-hand side of the scoreboard, which reads Norwood 2-2, Sturt yet to score. Hine and Wellesby. Wellesby might have knocked Hine out of the way. No, it goes the other way. So Wellesby gets the free kick, the umpire deeming that Hine was the infringer, and Wellesby puts it up towards centre wing.
Big lean it there. Off hands down to Whittlesey, onto the boot in a flash, down to centre-half forward. Scott Field was held by Murdoch. Will receive the free kick. He's on the attacking end of the centre square. Nobody there to get the football for him, and that's a bit bad by Sturt. They're not supporting their teammates quite enough, but it is an open forward line. Kitchke, the danger man down there. Reynolds is there also. The leads are on. It goes in the direction of Kitchke. Falls a bit short of him, but the big fella is certainly agile. Bent the back well. Slipped at the vital stage, but David Odie in support. Handball to Field. He's under all sorts of pressure. That was a bad handball. Muster. Richardson. Down to the centre wing. Up high, Staritsky, the spoiler Whittlesey. And the ball finally works its way over the boundary line for throw-in on the centre wing. Well, 11 minutes gone. Norwood all their way early. They've got 2 goals, 2 on the board, and Sturt yet to score.
And big Tom Orhurst is doing the job on Kitchke, who was a dangerous player against Port Adelaide last week, and so far this game is shadowed Kitchke, and Kitchke hasn't looked dangerous at all.
Worcester, Murdoch in support, charges up from the back pocket, now kicks to half forward, getting under it a Pindo, couldn't quite take it. Reid is there, and what a good defender he is for the Sturt side. The deputy vice captain, in fact, of the boys from Unley. The rucks gather. It'll be Hine versus Wellesby, jockeying for position. They're on the half-forward line with Norwood in attack, grandstand side, and the free kick going their way to Hine. So Hine uses the handball to Richardson, but the umpire's whistle is blown. He's got to go back behind his mark, so a bit of a delay in play and a chance for the Sturt defenders to stack up. Leaders by Maynard across the forward line. He goes a bit deeper than that. He's looking for Weston. Well, he's literally threaded the eye of the needle, and he's dropped it right on his chest, but there's an obvious ploy there that Paul Weston coming out of the forward line, and they're going to be looking for him.
It was a beautiful lead, and more importantly, a very nice kick there by Big Hine.
Well, only 35 metres the distance, directly in front. The kick underway from Paul Weston. That's his first and the third for Norwood. They're 3 goals to Sturt yet to score.
And I would think at this stage, Sturt, by moving Wellesby onto Hine, we're worried about Hine down in the forward on his reach and his height. But at this stage, it's Weston who's causing all the problems.
It was beautiful vision there too by Hine, because Weston had to sprint for something like 50 or 60 metres to get to that ball, but obviously that is the plan of attack at this stage. It's 3-2 Norwood, Sturt yet to score, and we've played 13, almost 13 and a half minutes of the first quarter. Hall over the top. Plenty of players, a lot of congestion there. David I emerges with the football, and he'll put this forward for the Double Blues. They need to get on with it and get a score on the board. David I goes deep into attack, looking for a forward. One of them is Kitchke, couldn't take it. Leaned it at the back of the pack. Picked up brilliantly for a big man. Gave it across to Lennon, who's playing on a half-forward flank. Plenty of Norwood defenders there. Here's a chance for McCarthy. Dragged off the ball, holding the ball against McCarthy, and Norwood will relieve.
It just shows the strength of the Norwood back line there. They didn't give Sturt 1 inch.
So the Norwood defence holding up very strongly. This is Gallagher, the wingman. Phil Gallagher's son. Goes across to Thorpe. Brother, in fact. I think he's a bit older than his son. And at the moment, Norwood going into attack. Good-looking kick by Staritsky. Went past Weston. The bounce beat him. Plenty of Sturt defenders there. Wellesby's one of them. Knocked it on. Went past Darvanese. In goes Payne. Picked up by Thomas. Pascoe working devilishly hard, and he did it brilliantly for a big man. Richardson has a fire at goal. The kick on its way. Weston getting underneath it. Good work by Wellesby, and he knocked it through for a behind.
It's very good work there by Wellesby. He sort of had his eye on the ball right from the time it left Richardson's boot, and he was able to stick his hand up and just touch it over for a point.
Well, round about the 15-minute mark of the first term. 3 goals, 3 Norwood. Sturt still yet to score. Lyon was the call from that, but now it's a free kick away at Whittlesey. Melbourne didn't have it.
I thought that perhaps Stevitsky could have got a free kick before that, actually.
Well, it's gone the way of Whittlesey, and we'll have to give the umpire the benefit of the doubt. He's right on the spot. 2 half forward. McCarthy has been moved to centre half forward this week. As you see him in the back lines. There's the kicking towards the right forward pocket, and John Painter, who's infringed. And the playmaker of Sturt, one of their key men, will take the kick. Long way from goal, but puts it out in front towards Leonard on the lead, but coming in late to John Hall. Feeds off to Richardson. Must be having a run on the ball because he started on the half-forward line. Maynard now the chance. Long handball, Gallagher. He's on the half-back line. Little chip past to Pike. He can run, if he gets the ball, that is. But he had the time to do that, and now goes long towards Weston. Walked right with him on that occasion and spoils McWilliam. Pushing it in front towards the boundary line, slips the safety and finds it. Well, that's intelligent backman's work, although he did gain some metres for the Norwood side.
Yes, he realised he was under a lot of pressure there, and the only thing he could really do was paddle the ball over the line.
Good crowd enjoying the sunshine and the football here in the first term at Norwood Oval. Down to Visser, quick handball, Thomas. Tried to get it to Payne, not terribly successful. Sturt the chance. There's certainly the chance to bottle it up, and we're only 25 metres out from the Norwood goal. So we're currently on 3 goals, 3, and Sturt yet to score. And we've played about 17 minutes of this turn. There must be a crowd of about 12,000 or so, I would say, here, because it's fairly packed. Hine the chance, couldn't do it. Walked through the pack. Got a handball of sorts to Russell. Little chip past to Whittlesey. Now can Sturt set something up there? Breaking down across half forward. That's their problem. Scotty Phil with a chance to use his pace right within Maynard. In fact, runs past him. So well done, Rodney Maynard. And he causes a bounce in, or a throw in fact, on the half-forward line of Sturt.
I think you hit the nail right on the head there, John. The Sturt having all sorts of problems across their half-forward line.
Well, I think they've got Lennon down there, they've got McCarthy there, and it showed just a while ago they're an experience in the forward line when they messed up an opportunity to go.
Kitchke won it down, picked up by Painter, high kick. Ball doesn't, the bounce doesn't favour anyone really. It's 3-3-21. David Eye has a shot at goal. This could be their first goal of the game. I think it might be. It is. David Eye, has he kicked it? No, he hasn't. Didn't quite make the distance. And Tommy Warhurst comes away with it. So Sturt still yet to score. This is Maynard on half-back. Centre wing out toward a Pindo in front of McWilliam. Good lightning handball across to Gallagher, who barges his way through. Lovely pass to Weston. Couldn't take the mark. Was he knocked out of the way? Not according to the umpire. Good defensive work by Sturt as they clear the ball. A chain of handballs ends up with Wellesby on the centre wing. And the mark has been taken there by Eye, number 35 for Sturt. Centre wing. Looking for someone up for. There's a shocking kick by Eye, and it's out of bounds, and he wouldn't be pleased.
Well, he let himself down then. He's obviously showing the good foot, continuing the good form he showed against Port Adelaide last week. He's had some very good touches, but unfortunately on that occasion, out of bounds on the full.
Well, it's a case of attack and counter-attack here at Norwood Oval at the moment, but Norwood with the ability to finish them off. That's a Pindo. Clever work. Weston the chance in front of Wart. Slips the handball to Gallagher down from his wing. He's in trouble. Took too long. Play on now, the call. Scott Russell puts it out in front of Big Reynolds. Well, he's got the big legs pumping up and down. They come to meet him, but he gets it on towards Lennon. He's forced towards the boundary line by Pike. Good, intelligent defensive work, James Pike.
And another player who's continuing his good form, James Pike, already today has had a couple of good dashes down that outer wing.
What a brilliant return to league football after a bad injury last year. Tony McCarthy for Sturt. High towards full forward. Kitchke there. But there's a big struggle with Warhurst, so it comes to ground. Kitchke still working hard. Infringes against Jared Thorpe. And Thorpe to take the free kick. Well, he stopped the Sturt attempt at goal just a while ago with a timely mark. And a timely free kick helps get the legs out of defence. Scotty Russell, well done. Good mark against two opponents. David Ogie leading across the half-forward line. Kick is through him. But Lennon chipping in earlier could have been paid, but recovered well. Scott Field, here's the chance for their first goal. but it's right across the face, and Scott Field, hang your head in shame, he had all the time in the world.
It was bad luck for Sturt there. Gee, it was good recovery work by Lennon there, wasn't it? He'd gone for the mark and all of a sudden found himself with the ball again.
That'll have to go back. Warhurst will take the free kick. Tom Warhurst, wonderful club man. Maynard tried to judge that off of the hands of a Sturt player across the face of goal. Fosdyke. So Norwood have kept Sturt goalless so far. We've played almost 20 minutes. Darvin Easer out there with Richardson, who's had some very useful touches, as we've mentioned. Ball goes tumbling forward toward Norwood's forward line. Lennon, Visser. Oh, good play by Visser. That kick wasn't all that good. It hit the umpire. Picked up by Frost. The crowd don't like it. Not his fault. Russell still having problems with his wrist. He's got it heavily bandaged. Into the forward lines goes his kick. Good work by Warhurst, knocked it away from Kitschke. In goes Thomas. Quick kick forward into the centre of the ground. Payne, lightning handball across. They're getting themselves into a little trouble here. Sturitsky still have possession though, that's the main thing. High kick, looking for the forwards. Out comes Wellesby, and the Dewar defender has taken the mark and he'll clear.
That was good play by Wellesby. He read that ball from the moment it left Visser's boot, and he was in front of that pack.
Big David Reynolds showing that he's out of form at the moment by dropping a simple chest mark. And he didn't play well last week either. Now Frost, through the centre he goes, puts it out in front of Leanett. Up he goes, got the hands to it, couldn't complete it. Gerald Ford doing some good work back there in defence for Norwood. Pushes that one towards the boundary line.
Sturt would be hoping that Leanett would hang on to a couple of those marks. He's got his hands to 3 or 4 today, but has yet to hold one. 21
minutes gone first term. Norwood 3 goals, 3, 21. Some good attacking by them. Sturt still yet to score. Now Murdoch to bring it out of defence for Norwood. Down to a Pindo versus McWilliam. Ooh. William does the spawning. A Pindo recovers well, and then they all run into each other. Finally, it's a throw in on centre wing, and the Pindo and McWilliam not real pleased with each other there at the moment.
They're going to have a good duel today, those two. Both strongly built boys, both young players, and that's a clash to watch today.
That's what it's all about. Here's the throw-in on centre wing, grandstand side. Reynolds versus Pascoe. Visser trying to work his way through. Did somehow. Got it towards Thomas, who couldn't keep it inside. And another throw-in. So it'll be David Reynolds versus Pascoe up from centre half forward to take this ruck. But in fact, there's a free kick going the way of Sturt. David I. Down towards Leanett. The hands, out the back it goes. McCarthy and Gerald Thorpe chase it through the boundary line, but it beats them both. Throw in right forward pocket. So Sturt still looking for their first score. They're in attack at the moment. Will this be their opportunity? Norwood on 3 goals, 3. Good tap by Hine, but back into a pack of players, so we'll force another bounce.
22.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Still without a score on the board. Sturt, Norwood are 3 goals, 3. Good start for the Redlegs. Hine and Leanett. Picked up by Maynard, and away go the Redlegs again. Thomas's handball, not all that effective. Might have hit the boot there of Fosdyke, and as a result, the ball was held up momentarily, but the free kick is going the way of Ivan Muster from centre half back. An unusual kicking style. Over centre, a Pindo over his head. Reynolds came out. Oh, that's beautiful play by Richardson. Good left foot pass over the head, just over the head of Paul Weston. Paul back there with Relsby, and it beats both of those players out of bounds in the left forward pocket.
There's no doubt that Paul Weston is the prime target up forward for Norwood. He's leading everywhere, and they're looking for him. Some close attention now by the Sturt defenders has cut down his effectiveness. He has got 1 goal. The Pindo got it to Richardson, puts it out in front of goal, but he's gone across the line just so another throw in the left forward pocket with Norwood in attack.
Yes, you're right there, John. Walker's worn Weston like a glove since that first 2 minutes of this quarter, and has really done well to stick with Weston.
24-minute mark, Norwood 21 points, leads Sturt yet to score. John Hall the tap. Chance to come out of defence. That was a quick kick forward by John Painter. In fact, it was David I. He has furthered the ball up to the half-forward line of Norwood. Sturt, really no semblance of the start they had last week. They've thrown their side around quite a bit, and it certainly hasn't paid dividends for them. Sturitsky, quick handball of Pindo. Now Fosdyke, plenty of experience. Coolly put it out in front of Gallagher, but a bad bounce has messed it up, and Sturt the chance to come out of defence. Lennon overran it. Pike, cool as a cucumber, gathered in, straightened the body, shot toward goal. But the defender hasn't kicked a goal, only a minor score. Norwood 3 goals for Sturt, still yet to score.
Shows the strength of Pike there, backing his arm, coming right down the ground and having a shot for goal.
Ball put in, and David I has taken the mark from the kick in from full back. Half back at the moment, David I. Made sure he didn't kick that one out of bounds on the full. Good mark from behind by Hine. Well, he had a little bit of height advantage there, Reynolds and McCarthy as well, but Hine was able to stretch those long arms and fingers, and he grabbed a good mark into the centre. Pindo couldn't take it. Picked up by Thomas. Nowhere in particular. Payne knocked it across intelligently. Picked up by Pike, having another good game so far. That kick by Pike was a left footer, and it's out of bounds. Not on the full, though. Out of bounds in the left forward pocket.
So another throw in. There's been a lot of attack and counter-attack in this game, but Norwood certainly far more capable of converting when they do get up forward. Hence, there's 3 goals, 4 on the board. Sturt yet to score. Free kick going the way of Sturt from the throw-in.
Well, that was a trifle lucky there, I think. It could have gone either way, that one. The umpire favoured Sturt.
Out towards Whittlesey. Good mark against Storitsky. That's going to be an interesting battle in the centre. We're aware of Whittlesey, and Storitsky is certainly an up-and-coming player. Good Reynolds in the pack, off hands. Rodney Maynard to Payne. Had a good game last week, the little Rover. Puts it down towards Western Territory. Spoilt by Walk. First to it is Richter. Having trouble controlling it. Grabbed without it. Well, he was good enough to keep the ball in front of him. Didn't necessarily have control, but certainly won the football. Darbanese, grandstand side centre wing. McCarthy in front. The spoiler was Maynard. Fosdyke the crummer. The little pass. McWilliam intercepts. Frost is there to assist. And now Keith Thomas. Fosdyke followed up his good work in towards John Hall. Stretches high. Can't get it. Off the boot of Weston. And the throw in again in that left forward pocket. We've played up and down this grandstand side and a lot of throw-ins.
Yeah, and at this stage, the Norwood small men appear to be on top of Sturt. You look at all the punch downs, all the punch aways, it's the Norwood small men who are getting the crumbs and taking the ball away.
Richardson made a mistake then. He gave it across to Y. He didn't mean to do that quite obviously, and I gave a lightning handball across to Field. Field's kicked downfield, but the mark has been taken by Maynard. That was a good mark too by Maynard. He just kept his eyes on the ball and did it perfectly. In it goes to Gallagher from centre half back now. So Gallagher looking to go way to the outer side of the ground. A chance for Thorpe from centre wing. Hall couldn't take the mark. Oh, here's a goal coming up. This is Visser, left footer, and it's a goal. So another goal to Norwood. That's his second, and the siren has gone. It's quarter time here at the Norwood Oval. Norwood 3-4. In fact, they're 4-4 now with Visser's goal. 4-4, 28. Sturt without a score. So it's Norwood 4 goals, 28. Sturt yet to score in this game. This is the second quarter. Randall Devison to put it down to start the second term. Paul might have won that, but it was all Norwood in that first quarter. Good kick forward by Sturt, and the mark has been taken by Odie, and at last they're going to get themselves a chance. Well, actually, they had a few chances to score in the first term, but they just didn't capitalise. And Odie is certainly within scoring distance, and this would be a very handy goal in the opening couple of seconds of the second quarter. So all eyes on Odie. Well out of the centre square. He'd be 35, 40 metres out, directly in front. Not a great deal of breeze to contend with. The kick is dragged across and it's a behind, so a disappointing start.
Well, it just goes to show the importance of the importance of getting the ball out of the middle in the Norwood Oval here. And that occasion, one of the few occasions that Sturt have got the ball out of the middle, and they were able to score.
Warhurst to Maynard, lovely pass. Big John Hall lurking around the centre, but Maynard keeps it down the grandstand wing. Pascoe in the pack, out the back, McWilliam grabbed it in with one arm, judged it to perfection, and what a good solid defender he is. Well, there's a mistake, into a Pindo it went. Gallagher couldn't handle it. Whittlesey charging through. Payne took him off the ball, but there's Gallagher back. Richardson, a few useful things. Gallagher, he also out to Fosdyke. Good organisation by Norwood. Finally the kick down to the half-forward line. Richter coming up out of the back pocket, leaves it behind, but there in support is Darvanese. And his kick around the corner lands in the waiting arms of John Painter. And what can John Painter set up? He's a real organiser for Sturt. Finds Scotty Field, bolts away. Into the forward line he goes. Purposeful-looking kick, but no result. They stack up around the half-forward line of Sturt. Finally, umpire John Hilton blows the whistle and calls play up with Norwood on 4-4. Sturt are finally on the scoreboard, just the one behind. Couple of minutes gone, second turn. Big John Hall wins the tap. Scotty filled the crumbs. Through the pack he goes, gives it to Oti. Can draw the man if he wants, but the player wouldn't come. So he chips away, and there's the first goal for Sturt. In fact, Oti now with 1-1 has kicked their complete score. Norwood are on 4-4.
Well, that was good team by Norwood, by Sturt, I'm sorry, there. They got possession, kept possession, a good handball, and Oti kicked surely. And at the beginning of this quarter, we expected to see wholesale changes in the Sturt side. There was none forthcoming, but obviously Rick Davis has got confidence in his players, and this confidence has been rewarded with 1-1 in the first 5 minutes of play.
4-4 to 1-1, Norwood in front. Sturt first goal on the board, and they needed that. That's the understatement of the day so far. They were goalless in the first term. Leanett knocked out of the way there by Hall, but legally according to the umpire. Now Jack Hilton comes in and says a free kick goes to Payne. Maynard. Good kick up towards centre-half forward. Pascoe, the big fellow, couldn't take the mark. Reed appealing for the mark. Had plenty of time anyway to play on. Up towards centre wing on this grandstand side. Maynard. Back it goes to Sturitsky to Maynard. And Gallagher. That's Martin Gallagher. Puts it forward into the right forward pocket. Whistle goes. Richter's about to dart off. Jack Hilton says no, go back. And McWilliam has the free kick in defence for Sturt. Goes across the face into the centre of the ground. Lennon from the side of the pack, but it goes to Visser. Muster, the 31. Visser and Muster both redheads. Out comes Pascoe, and he's taken the mark, and the big fellow's looking impressive on occasions. He goes with a left foot pass into the left forward pocket just as you wrap someone up. They tend to make a little mistake. Chance now for Murdoch, the defender. He's got a chance to kick a goal. Has a fire at goal, and he's put it through. So Murdoch, who was one of the best players for Norwood last week, has scored Norwood's 5th goal here today. 5 goals for to Sturt, 1-1.
And there was 2 Norwood defenders down there, Murdoch and Pike, and one wonders what their opponents are doing, perhaps standing back, waiting for the ball to come back into their arms. You know, I was taught when I played football, if your defender goes down the ground, you follow him down. And there they are, they're running back there now, and there's still nobody standing right next to Murdoch. So what the Sturt forward players are doing, it's anybody's business.
Brilliant goal by the Norwood defence. Clever tap back by James Pike. Finished off well by Roger Murdoch. So Sturt the chance. Painter, little short hand pass went to Russell. He couldn't control it. Payne ducked the head and got the body over the ball. Umpire John Hilton will bounce. Almost in the centre of the ground. Norwood 5 goals for. Sturt 1-1. We've played 5 minutes of this second term. Scott Russell got the tap. In fact, it's Kim Russell, so he's on the ground now. The other one of the Russell brothers back into the Sturt side today. Centre-half forward for Sturt, and a chance. Oti taps it out. Warhurst to be first to it. Cleverly done. Out to Fosdyke. Having trouble getting it up, however. Hands and knees, pushing it towards the boundary line, and finally guided over by Roger Murdoch. So the throw in under the scoreboard. The right forward pocket with Sturt in attack.
I also see Dutton on the ground. He is obviously just a late change as well.
So there's the throw in. It's Muster trying to find Pike, who does it cleverly. Richardson to Sturitsky. Gee, they're organised out of defence, Norwood, and that's one of their big strengths. Oh, Reed, how beauty. Running with the flight of the ball, put the one big hand out and grabbed it in. Pushes it back to the centre wing. Up high, Whittlesey. In front, showing better judgment with Sturitsky. And that is a good battle developing there in the centre. Sturitsky versus Whittlesey, the 88 Magarey medalist. Centre-half forward for Norwood. The ball runs free. First to it, Reed. Thought about the handball, then hooks it around the body back towards the centre wing. Chance there for Norwood. Sturitsky it was to Hall, in turn Fosdyke. The little pass Visser. Little left footer out on the half-forward line. Puts it out in front of goal. Keith Thomas. A lovely mark. Floating in from the front of the pack. He was started off to the side, but jumped in. I think Darvanese thought he had it all wrapped up. The outstretched fingers of Thomas. A very good mark. Keith Thomas, back from Fitzroy this year, of course. One of the very experienced players coming to the Norwood side. Only 40 metres out, directly in front. The kick underway to the parade end against the slight breeze. That's Keith Thomas's first goal. And goal number 6 for Norwood. There, 6 goals for Sturt, 1 goal, 1.
That's how Keith Thomas likes to play his football. He drifts up and down that middle corridor, and that's vintage Keith Thomas. He just drifted into that forward line there and marked. It was a very good mark, it was as well.
6-4 to 1-1. We've played 7 minutes in the second term here at the parade, and it's been all Norwood so far, and it's been a different Sturt side to the one we saw last week at the Norwood Oval, particularly in the first quarter where they trounced Port Adelaide. A few changes made by Rick Davies from the side that played Port last week. They go into attack. Scott Field takes a good chest mark. He's at right half forward. Got to get this ball moving down into the forward lines, looking for Kitschke, who's made a lead. Then he had to go back. He's now calling it way forward. Him and Warhurst just running around on the spot virtually. So Scott Field puts everything into that. Reynolds from the back of the pack. No one able to take it. Kitschke hands to ball. Warhurst working hard behind him. Jared Thorpe has possession now. Number 22 for Norwood. A left foot kick out, and he finds Muster. Right footer up toward half forward. And the good mark has been taken by Pascoe. So Pascoe looking for someone into that left forward pocket. No one able to take it. Payne is there, keeps it in play, gets a head-high tackle, not according to the umpire though. Now going forward is Norwood again through Hine. The kick is a good one, a centering one. Has Weston been paid the mark? He hasn't. The crowd don't like it, and Sturt to clear, or will they? Russell's been tackled, and it's holding the ball against Sturt.
Well, Norwood certainly showing all the endeavour at the moment.
Well, they moved the ball from Sturt's back line up forward very quickly then. And I think on that occasion it showed the time that Russell's had out of the game. He was caught, didn't really know where to go, did he?
Lacking a bit of match practice. Martin Gallagher with the football. He's done some useful things on his centre wing, the young fellas. Only played a couple of games, as far as league football is concerned, that is. Of course, he's the brother of Phil Gallagher. Norwood stalwart, and that's a lovely kick. Will it have the distance? Richter at the back of the pack. Bounds out of defence, kicks out towards the centre wing, puts it nicely in front of David Eye, but with him was Muster. Pushes the ball across the line, so the boundary throw-in on the Norwood half-forward line, out of sight of Norwood Oval. Norwood leading by 33 points. Just over 9.5 minutes gone in this second turn. Big Hine reached high, got it down to Keith Thomas. Quick kick forward into the left forward pocket, in fact, coming out Weston. Tapped it cleverly to Richardson. On the left foot now, towards the goal. Which way is it going to bounce? It bounced the right way. Right on the goal umpire. And he says it's a goal. Well, that's a miraculous goal to Steve Richardson. Norwood, 7 goals for Sturt, 1 goal, 1.
Well, that was a very good goal there by Norwood. Showed the good presence of mind of Paul Weston there. He was under pressure, falling to the ground, but still was able to push the ball out to Richardson, who kicked surely, if not a little lucky goal.
So it's a big margin now to Norwood. And we've played 10 minutes of the second term here at the parade. It's 7-4 to 1-1. It's 11 scoring shots to 2. And Richardson getting a wonderful goal there for Norwood. Play bottled up on the attacking side of centre for Sturt. So they're partly into attack, but they need to get goals. They need them badly. Leonard and Hall. Hall won it down, and the little men like Sturitsky picked up by Muster. Oh, there's a good mark taken by Pindo.
There's no love lost between those two, is there?
Pindo looking for someone up forward. He's got a couple to... Hine from the side of the pack. Has he been painted? He has. A big mark taken by Hine. He plays on quickly. Here's Thomas, comes into the play, and Thomas puts it straight through the middle. Another one to Norwood.
Well, Keith Thomas' second goal for the quarter, almost identical to his first, except from the same position. But Hine, that's the sort of thing that these crowds come to see. A big marking player, and Hine on that occasion didn't let him down.
Well, it's a brilliant performance by Norwood, Dexter, so far. This is the first time I've seen them in season 1989. Obviously impressive last week, but gee, they're impressing me out there today.
Their teamwork is far superior than Sturt's at this particular stage.
So umpire John Hilton. The lead now 45 points in favour of Norwood, and they are doing it particularly well. McWilliam, one of the strengths of Sturt. Didn't do anything effective with the ball on that occasion, but it's tough and it's hard in the centre there. Scott Field was on hands and knees. See, they're going in hard, but Norwood come out with it. Richardson again. Cleverly got the ball across to Pascoe. He's impressive at centre half forward. The left foot kick is through for yet another one, so Pascoe is chipped in for a goal as well. And Norwood moved to 9 goals, 4. Sturt 1 goal, 1.
Only 19 years of age, Pascoe, been entrusted with the centre half forward position, a very hard position. But then on that occasion, onto the left foot, cool and casual as alike, that shot never looked like missing. And one thing I'll note here, Big Hall is starting to get his hand to the ball in the middle all the time now. Leonard is really starting to struggle.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, Dexter, Leonard has been taken off the rucking duties, and Kitschke is in the centre. So Rick Davies starting to make a few changes. Gallagher, Payne, left footer, just over the head of Pascoe, but it's once again in the dangerous zone for Norwood. Wellesby, desperate play by Wellesby. Is it out of bounds on the fall? No, it's not. It was lucky, but the idea was good by David Wellesby.
I think Davies throwing Kitschke into the ruck would be hoping he would take a few big marks around the ground also.
Hine and Wellesby. Hine wins it down, looking for someone like David Eye, but those little men just aren't there at the moment for Sturt. The ball comes to the side of the pack, picked up by Thomas. He's the danger man. Left foot snap at goal. No one able to take it. That was Weston who got his hands to it. But eventually McWilliam runs it through for a behind.
Well, you can hear the Norwood supporters there. I think they feel that Paul Weston might have deserved a free there.
Well, they all sort of expect something when he's near the ball, don't they?
There's the kick in. Down the centre wing. Here's Thomas. He's really coming into this game now to Gallagher. Back to Thomas. Down towards Payne with a bit of space. Didn't handle it cleanly, but good enough to get away. Long handball searching for Sturitsky. He was under pressure. But working well, Pascoe. Gallagher. Little chip pass to Richardson. Too far for him. Mustar bursting through. Gets the chip shot underway, but just offline. And well, I was going to say Norwood can do no wrong, but just slightly astray on that occasion.
Yes, it was a very good attempt by Muster, and it just shows the strength of Norwood. They're bottling the player from that forward line, and Sturt defence at the moment have got no answer.
I just had the binoculars on Big John Hall. He's got blood streaming from the front of his face, the big ruckman for Norwood. So he's obviously got a knock. That kick in, Hine from behind. Kitschke was in front, back it goes to Hine. Thomas, in fact, it's Sturitsky working very hard on the bottom of the pack. Whittlesee's with him, and so is Maynard. And there is Big John Hall, and he's got blood all over the front of his face. It doesn't look to be worrying him all that much, but he's obviously copped a knock earlier on in this quarter. Kitschke knocked it down, but only went to Muster. Back it goes to Payne, Gallagher, and they're really doing particularly well in this quarter. Almost a mark to Weston, couldn't complete it, and the ball is bottled up something like 30 metres in front of the Norwood goal.
Did you see that handball by Payne? It was lightning, it was quick into the mark. Gee, that was good skills.
Well, as you suggested, Dex, it's the Norwood little men that are getting to that ball first, getting first use of it, and generally using it very well, as Payne did on that occasion. Half forward line. Norwood in attack. Chance of McWilliam. Cleverly got that one across to Richter. Into the centre of the ground he goes, searching for Dutton, and finds him. Second game player. Started on the interchange bench. Out in front of Painter, well placed. Gathers it on the half-forward line. Hooks it back in front of goal. Big Reynolds is there, so too Leonard. Big pack went up. Oatey the chance. Trouble getting it up. It slips a handball to Painter. Hooks it around the body. Wait on it. Straight through. Johnny Painter, well, he's the man that can lift this Sturt side. The vice-captains kicked his first goal. Sturt have kicked their second. 2-1 plays Norwood 9-6.
A very much quieter player this week than he was last week against Port Adelaide, but on that occasion, given the opportunity, didn't let the side down.
Good goal by Jack Painter. And we played 16 minutes of the second term here of the parade. Perfect conditions for football. Big crowd in attendance. 9-6 to 2-1. 60 plays 13. Norwood lead.
Talking about Dutton, second game, all of a sudden finds himself at centre half forward, so it's a big ask for the young fella.
certainly is. As you said, Dexter, just his second league game. And last week he did a couple of useful things against Port Adelaide. 9-6 to 2-1, back in the centre. And Clyde Devison starts play again. Those little men of Norwood really tearing Sturt to pieces. But on this occasion, it's David I who ends up with the footy. A left foot pass to Odie. Odie couldn't complete the mark. The ball hits him in the face. Picked up by Russell. This is Scott into the left forward pocket. And it'll beat Field out of bounds. So they've got it up into their attacking zone, Sturt. But they need to score goals. There's no point in having it in that attacking zone if they don't capitalise. 9-6 to 2-1. Maynard, lightning handball to Pike. Good kick off the half-back line. Richardson overran it. In fact, it went over his head, rather. Sturitsky working hard, so too is Darvanese. Picked up by Russell. A centering kick. Painter trying to get underneath it. And he did take a little time to get there. And the mark has been taken by Fosdyke, the wingman for Norwood. He goes wide to the outer side, and Muster about to put them into attack.
Down towards Pascoe, been impressive at centre-half forward. Beaten by Reid on that occasion. Sturt trying to come out of defence. Finally they do through Richter. Nice looking kick down to lean it. The big arms went up, couldn't complete it. Oti battling now against two Norwood defenders and did it well. Ducks back, uses the handball, Scotty Field. Being directed to put it out in front of goal, he does, but only as far as James Pike. And what an amazing game he's having. 24 kicks last week. I suggest he's had at least a dozen at this stage, and we're only 18 minutes into the second term. Outer side centre wing, off the chest there of Dutton. Maynard will be first to it. Has support from Fosdyke. Bounds across the centre wing. Now in towards full forward with a pass. On the lead was Weston. Beautifully done. And aren't they looking for him up there?
And I think Dutton will learn from that. When you make a mistake against a side like Norwood, you pay, and you pay dearly.
Wonderful work by Duncan Fosdyke. His experience really showed in that too of Paul Weston to complete it. Now the shot for goal. He kicked one in the first turn, and the goal umpire says that's what his scoreline will remain. Norwood moved to 9 goals 7. Sturt are 2 goals 1.
Big margin in favour of Norwood. And this is David Wellesby, who played in attack last week. He's playing at fullback today in a back pocket.
Well, therein lies a bit of a problem for Sturt, I think, Mark. They had a brilliant start to the game last week, but the side this week at the start bore no resemblance to that one against Port.
No, it's a fair contrast as Gallagher, that's Martin Gallagher, puts it up into the forward line. The whistle goes and Wellesby will get a free kick. He's pretty versatile, apparently. He did play a lot of his footy up forward, Wellesby, so Rick Davies can use him in several key positions. High kick, Richardson from behind, couldn't complete the mark, attempting a chest mark. Here's Hine, who's had a very good game so far. That bounced off the face of Martin Gallagher, and it's out of bounds.
And I think, looking at Hine, every game we've seen him this year, he's just getting better and better, and that sort of shows that the league big men in other clubs are going to be in for a torrid time this year.
20-minute mark of the second term. Norwood 9 goals 7 to Sturt 2 goals 1. It's a 48-point advantage to Norwood, and that's huge at this stage of the game. Visser in towards Pascoe, too far for him, McWilliam. Ooh, resolute defender for Sturt. Pushes it out to the outer side wing in front of David I. Mustering close attention. And did it well. Well, cleverly over to Fosdyke. And he always uses the ball well. Into the left forward pocket. Big John Hall. Quickly on in a flash to a Pindo. From the left forward pocket towards goal. Put the glasses down. That's another one. Norwood, 10 goals 7. Sturt, 2 goals 1.
A classic play there by Norwood. Fosdyke, a beautiful kicker of the ball. It'd be hard to go past a better kicker of the football in South Australia than Fosdyke. A big, strong mark there by Hall. He used all his strength and experience then, and the younger Pindo finished it off well.
Norwood have kicked 6 goals 3 in this quarter. Sturt have kicked 2 goals 1. So it's been another big term for the Redlegs. And Damien Kitski will have his hands full here with Hine in ruck. Visser, Richardson into the forward zone. Almost the mark. It has been paid to Sturt, and it'll be Wellesby to take it. So he's a pretty useful player for them, David Wellesby.
I can tell you, John Hall was not very happy with that result either.
So Wellesby decides to go to the outer side of the ground. He's looking out there for Kitschke, his big ruckman. He was up forward earlier. Crossed, left footer. Oti couldn't take it. It was Field, in fact. It went over his head. And he's working hard to try and get possession. Picked up, though, easily by Warhurst. A 50-metre, no, probably not 50, a 20-metre handball. Fosdyke, short pass into the centre of the ground. Scott Russell's there to try and meet the ball. It makes a rare error, and Norwood capitalise, and the ball is bottled up almost in the centre of the ground.
And there's a Norwood player in a lot of trouble there. He's struggling to his feet now.
This is Martin Gallagher, and he copped a bit of a knock on the hip on the centre wing here a little while ago, so it may be a little bit tender, that one. Big pack of players in the centre square. Richardson puts the handball out to no one in particular. First to it will be Frost, but Apindo and Fosdyke closing on him, and they force the ball out of bounds for a throw-in on the outer side centre wing. Norwood 10 goals 7. It's been another good quarter for them. Sturt 2 goals 1. The advantage 54 points or 9 goals, whichever way you want to look at it, in favour of Norwood. Bizzer, he's been a busy player. That handball's gone astray, and we'll have another throw-in on that outer side. 22 and a half minutes gone, and Norwood have looked particularly impressive, mounting their attacks from deep in defence in a very organised fashion, and got the players up forward to finish off. Hine is working well in ruck. Little kick through the pack. McWilliam set upon by Richardson. That was a good tackle. Darvanese are tackled well also. And this Norwood side has got everything going for them at the moment, Dexter. They're first to the ball. They're using it well. And when Sturt have got it, they put them down quick.
They're very, very confident at the moment. And Sturt really don't know which way to turn.
Justin Scanlon getting ready to come on as Martin Gallagher comes off, looking somewhat dazed. And Justin Scanlon about to come on. This will be his 150th game, we believe. 149 or 151 or 150. We're not quite sure because there are various opinions there. But whatever it is, he's been a wonderful player for Norwood. Justin Scanlon, he's on the field now. Meanwhile, play goes on the outer side of the ground. Picked up by Richardson. Searching handball. Looking for Thomas. Thomas's handball was led astray there. Apindo barging through Richter. Might have got a push in the back, not according to the umpire. Payne was the man who was into his back, but the umpire lets it go on, and now he eventually stops play, and there'll be a ball up on the outer side of the ground at left half forward for the Redlegs. We've played 24 minutes in this quarter, and it's 10-7 to 2-1. Scott Russell in picture, number 29. Apindo, big, tall, loping player, left foot. Oh, what a good mark there taken by Visser, number 38. One of the redheads, a couple of redheads in the Norwood side. Muster's the other one. Visser's kick, searching for a forward, and Maynard just stood back and took a chance, and he's been given an easy opportunity to put Norwood's 11th goal on the board. I don't know whether he quite expected that. I think he just hoped that the ball would carry over the main pack, and that's exactly what it did. So he's lining up now for his first of the day. He's jagged it. It's gone across the face of goal. And sometimes, Dexter, the ones that look so easy are the ones you can miss.
Most certainly. Maynard lined up at centre-half back, and here he comes back to centre-half back now. Now, it just makes me wonder why Sturt players are allowing all the Norwood defenders to run down the ground so easily.
There's the kick in from Walk, heading towards Leanett. Spoilt by Hine. Richardson uses the body well. Had a handball away of sorts. A Pindo comes in. He's a strong, aggressive type of player. Aggressive at the ball, but it's Frost. Down towards Kim Russell. Bounces off his body, gives Eye the chance. The Norwood defence. Scanlon this time. Back to Murdoch. He's so organised. Fosdyke. Now on to... Couldn't pick that player up, but the Norwood player's doing it well. It was Staritsky. But Sturt were able to break things up on that occasion, and they're going to have to do that a lot more. Kim Russell, can he get something started?
The umpire was going to allow the advantage free kick then, I think, but changed his mind when Norwood gained possession.
Rollers push forward, but here's that Norwood defence again. There's always somebody in support. That time it was Gerard Thorpe. Oh, who's going to be paid that one? It's going the way of the Sturt player. Well, Kim Russell was in front, had the hands on the ball first. I think a great attempt it was by Staritsky. Shows his disgust, actually, by conceding a 15-metre penalty. So Kim Russell to put it forward again. Kitski's right down there at full forward. They'll put it in high to him. Reynolds is there too. At the hands of the pack, and Gerard Thorpe carries it across the line for the minor score. Sturt moved to 2 goals 2. Trailing Norwood 10 goals 8.
Tom Warhurst puts the ball back into play out in front of Hine. He's got a space to play with. Takes all the time in the world and then keeps it to the grandstand wing. Looking for someone up forward. Couldn't find anyone. Eventually it goes out of bounds. Darvanese in the middle of the pack with Thomas and also Pascoe. Throw-in taking place in front of the commentary position. 10-8 to 2-2. It's been all Norwood. Vizza got it down from Hine. It went back to the big ruckman. Put his handball away to no one in particular. I think he might have been searching there for Thomas. Pulled off the ball was Hine. Whittlesey shrugs the tackle and does it well to the Magarey medalist. Now looking for someone up forward. It goes over the head of Painter and the mark has been taken by Kitschke. Well, one of the rare things the forwards have done today as far as Sturt is concerned. I hope I don't sound too critical, but Kitschke has taken a strong mark, and if he can put this through, this will give them something to go on with because they need it. It's 10-8 to 2-2. And big Damien Kitschke, who kicked 5 goals, 3 last week, desperately needs this one to be online. He has a look at it. The umpire has a close look and then gives the 2 fingers. It is a goal. It's 3-2 to 10-8. And we've played 27 and a half minutes.
And the fact that we have nearly played a half of football, and that was Kitschke's, I think, first mark for the game, shows testament to the good game that Tom Warhurst played on him. Last week, he beat arguably the best fullback in the league in Roger Delaney, pointless all day. But today, as we said before, Warhurst doing a very, very good job on him.
I think last week too, Dexter, Kitschke down at full forward had a good source of supply from both Whittlesey and Painter, and they've been quiet today.
No, certainly.
So back in the centre, umpire Randall Davison getting play underway again. Justin Scanlon, a bit slow. Well, he's only just come onto the ground and he's taking a little bit of time to warm to the pace of it. And was tackled well by Kim Russell. Bounces away, puts it down towards Kitschke again. He's got to run and a jump. Couldn't get a second grab at it. Hine. Richardson has players loose outside him if he can get it out there, but good enough to break free. Apindo bent the back and handled it well. Gets it back to Fosdyke and now to half forward. Pascoe versus Reed. Carries over them. Vizza first to it. Handles it beautifully. The little left footer goes forward. Dropping back Wellesby. Finely judged mark. Well done, Wellesby. It was needed because Norwood were looking very dangerous again. Now to his half-back line. In front, Pascoe. Off the hands of the pack. Hands and knees crossed. Only as far as Richardson, who dodges and weaves. Now gets the little kick away. Charging out Big John Hall, but dragged off the ball. Well tackled by Keith Thomas. Darvanese. Oti at centre half back. The kick is spoilt. It goes the way of Reed. Quick handball onto McWilliam, down towards half forward. Painter at the back, couldn't hold it. Warhurst. Muster. Fosdyke, and aren't they organised coming out of defence? The luxury of a couple of bounces from centre wing in towards half forward. Carries the pack. Darvanese first to it, decides to go further back, finds Walk. High in towards the centre. Lennon there, so too Whittlesey, gets it off the back of his teammate, gives it across cleverly to Scott Russell, towards Kitschke. Spoiler was Warhurst. Worcester in there was working hard, so too Scanlon, so too Scotty Field, and a clever handball by Painter. Kim Russell in towards full forward. Reynolds slipped. Gerard thought a well-judged mark.
30 minutes gone in the second quarter. 30 minutes gone in the second quarter. Almost half-time. Murdoch, who had a big game last week. Pike. Whittlesey. Reed does the shepherding. Leonard gets the handball and then runs straight into Payne. Oti taking an age to pick it up, and it won't matter. It's half-time here at the Norwood Oval, and Norwood at 10-8, 68, Sturt 3-2, 20.
Sorry. Start of the second half here at Norwood Oval. It's been a brilliant first half by Norwood. 10 goals, 8-68. They lead the Blues 3 goals, 2-20. And, well, Dexter, the Blues have to make some changes and get into it. Have you picked any up yet?
Well, they have. They've put McCarthy to centre half back on Big Pascoe and moved Reed across onto Richardson. That may be a telling move. Well, only time will tell.
Well, let's hope it has an effect for them because we need a lift in this game of footy. Murdoch there laid to rest. Coming in strong, Maynard. To Justin Scanlon, to Muster. They go backwards, concede ground, but get it to Jared Thorpe. But his kick only as far as big Brett Leonard. He's had his hands full in the ruck against the likes of John Hall and Neil Hine, but battling on gamely. Leaders from Kitschke won't quite get to that one. The big pack pushes the ball towards the boundary line. It's a throw-in on the half-forward line of Sturt.
And Sturt really need a lift from Big Kitschke at full forward this half to have any resemblance of a chance.
So they've got to get that ball into him quick. So it's around the ground. Players have to win it and get it into him quickly. Well, they certainly appear to be a little bit fierce from the opening of the second half, Dexter. They were a bit tame in that first half.
Well, I'm quite sure Coach Rick Davis had a few words to say at half-time, and a few players were told a few home truths, I feel.
10-8 to 3-2. And it has been all Norwood so far in this game. Just 3 goals to the Sturt side. David Oatey, John Painter kicked a goal each. And Damien Kitschke kicked a goal in the second term. Norwood have had quite a few goal kickers. And they're about to run themselves out of defence out toward Maynard and Pike. It's had a pretty good game so far, Pike. Fosdyke as well on a wing. Thorpe, number 22, battling pretty hard for it. And the umpire will come in, and that's umpire Jack Hilton, and he'll ball it up about 35, 40 metres from the goal, the Sturt goal. So it's in attack for Sturt. They need to get goals. They need to capitalise on it. Scott Russell and Pike in close attendance. Back it goes to Painter. He'll do something useful. Gave it to Field. Got caught. He's got a couple of guys to contend with. One of them is Payne. Gave it across to Dutton, who's now playing. He came on late in the second term. Whittlesey from about 40 metres has a shot at goal. The kick won't quite carry. Out comes Kitschke. He hasn't taken the mark. He took a big mark in the second quarter, but it was one of his rare ones, and Norwood will get out of trouble momentarily as the ball goes out of bounds, and there'll be a throw in at left half forward.
Yes, the Sturt have certainly opened with a little bit more endeavour and a little bit more vigour, which was almost totally lacking from them in the first half. 1 or 2 changes that coach Rick Davis has made may have an effect for them. Probably a change in attitude would probably be the most effective. That's Payne trying to get it through to Warhurst. He's tackled by Kim Russell. So another boundary throw, and this time in the left forward pocket for Sturt. They're trailing by a massive 48 points at the moment. Kitschke versus Hall. And the umpire's whistle is blown, so a free kick over the shoulder to big John Hall, and he and Hine have controlled the rucks here today. Certainly opened up plenty of avenues for their smaller players. So here's Norwood running it out of defence again. Murdoch to Maynard through the centre towards Weston. Beautifully done. Oh, he's held that long enough. Yes, the umpire Randall Davison agrees. What brilliant movement of the football, and now it's on quick again. Is that Murdoch down there?
It certainly is, and it just shows the confidence that the Norwood backmen have got at this stage. Murdoch delivered the ball initially, kept on running, created the open space there, and Weston picked him up, and Murdoch amazingly going for his second goal.
Yes, the defender doesn't mind running down, and in fact all the Norwood defenders have done that. From 35 metres he's put it through, so that's 2 goals to Murdoch after a fine mark, and he's taking a habit of grabbing a few beauties. Norwood 11 goals 8, Sturt 3 goals 2.
It must be a worry to Sturt. Last week against Port Adelaide, 3 defenders kicked goals. Today 2 defenders have kicked goals, so there's something obviously lacking with the forwards at Sturt at this stage.
Played 4 minutes of the third quarter. That's exactly what Norwood wanted and exactly what Sturt didn't want. A quick goal by the Redlegs there, and it was Roger Murdoch who put it through after a lovely pass by Weston, and just prior to that Weston had taken a good strong mark. Leonard and Hall. Leonard might have won that, but it's the small men of Norwood who are ripping Sturt to shreds at the moment. That kick from Sturitsky up toward Pascoe went past him. Scanlon overran it. Eventually Sturt run it out of defence. This is Whittlesey going through the centre. Good play by Sturt. Looking for Kitschke. Lovely kick by Whittlesey. Oatey. Back it goes. Scott Russell got caught. Scanlon might have pushed him in the back. According to the umpire, he was held. And this will be a 15-metre penalty, and this will bring him right within scoring distance. He was probably within scoring distance anyway, but this will give him a big chance.
Actually, lucky for Sturt, really. It was a horrible hand pass from Oatey. He put Scott Russell under all sorts of pressure. David
Oatey being told a few things from one of the Sturt runners, not sure what he's conveying to him. And this is with Scott Russell, though. Has a shot at goal. The kick looks pretty good. It's just offline, so they needed that one, and that's a bad mistake by the Double Blues. Another behind, and they need goals.
They need goals, but at least they're showing a lot more endeavour in the opening of this second half. Rodney Maynard to mark from the kick-in. Quickly on. Muster brings it grandstand side to Pike. A fine player. What a great return to league football by him. Down towards the half-forward line. Pindo caught behind McWilliam. Well, what a battle these two have had. That's McWilliam winning it. Handball towards Walk, but way wide of him, and the boundary's throw-in now on the centre wing. And Dexter, we mentioned that battle between Pindo and McWilliam. Gee, it's tough.
Well, even though Anthony Pindo has done very well, McWilliam would have to be one of the few Sturt players that pulled his weight today.
Well, Thomas puts it forward for Norwood. Weston uses the body cleverly, now has the chance, can use the handball to Payne and does. Straightens up, 30 metres out, kick underway. That's another goal, easy as you like. Norwood 12 goals, 8, Sturt 3 goals, 3.
Well, David Payne's first goal there set up well by Paul Weston, and it was beautiful use of the body against Darvaniza there. Just a little tiny nudge out, give him just enough space to collect the ball, handball over to Payne, and Payne didn't let him down.
So Walk has been shifted from Weston, and Darvaniza has that very awkward task, and Walker's way down the other end of the ground on Jared Thorpe, and it's 12-8 to 3-3, so Darvaniza would be pretty disappointed with himself there. But the old fella, the old campaigner, he's not really all that old actually, Paul Weston. He just outmanoeuvred Darvaniza and gave a lovely handball across, and Payne made no mistake. So they're in all sorts of trouble, Sturt, but Payne are driving them forward. He keeps trying as hard as he possibly can, and that's Roger Murdoch, who's taken a timely mark in defence. Good play by Roger Murdoch. He really did do that particularly well. The kick wasn't all that good. Did gain a lot of meterage, though. That was poor mistake there by McWilliam, picked up by Thomas. He's one of the danger men, and Norwood go forward. The kick by Thomas, pinpoint accuracy. No, it just went over the top of Payne's head. A chance now for Sturt to clear up. And the defence of Sturt just looking a little better at the moment. But they need to capitalise up forward. Scotty Field gave it to Pater. Pater's short pass finds Russell. I think that's Scott Russell. Looks for someone up forward. Kitschke's the man. Couldn't take the mark. Walk lurking down there. Jared Thorpe working hard on the bottom of the pack, and eventually the ball will be bounced about 5 metres in front of the Sturt goal.
And big John Hall in the middle of the ground looks to be in a lot of trouble. They've called Hine up to do the ruck duties, and it doesn't look good at all for John Hall or Nord at this stage.
Did you notice what sort of injury it was, Dexter?
It looks like a leg injury. Could be his ankle, I feel.
So the ball about 15, 20 metres out in front of the goal there. Big John Hall limping back towards the full forward area. They called Neil Hine straight onto the ground, or straight into the ruck work, and you can see the big fella there, not looking too pleased at all. But the action carries on. That's Hine doing the ruck work. Sturt in attack. They're a chance. And Warhurst pushes the ball towards the boundary line, and he is an expert of doing that. The throw-in the right forward pocket for Sturt.
He certainly is a good defender, Tom Ward. A very, very physical player, and on that occasion, experience showed out.
Kitschke and Hine do the ruck work. Hine won it. Scott Russell, or Kim Russell, in fact, trying to burst out of the pack, but it's pretty torrid stuff down there at the moment. Very tight, very hard. And John Hall moving a little bit more easy there, but I think it would pay to give him a bit of a rest for a while.
And actually, the runners come out to take him off, and Hall will be replaced by Kim Nichols on for his first run for the game.
So Norwood trying to work our defence. Visser to Maynard. He's at centre-half back, flips it in towards Stawitsky in the centre, and now towards full forward. Now Darvanese is in front of Weston this time, but Payne chips in. Taken to ground by Wellesby. Darvanese, Pascoe, cleverly done, but the handball astray. Painter, McCarthy, there's a fight on behind play, but will kick with the footy, out towards the centre wing, and the mark is taken by Dutton. Well behind play there, the boys are getting into it a bit. The umpires have sorted that out, but Sturt go to centre-half forward. Lennon, almost a good mark. Warhurst chips it out to Maynard. Now he's totally free on centre wing. Luxury of a bounce and time to look. Directs in towards the right forward pocket. Good lead, Richardson. Well, Norwood are moving smoothly into attack. Weston on the lead. In towards the left forward pocket it goes. Can he make it? Couldn't get it on the half volley either. McCarthy hooks it back to the centre wing. Under it, Maynard coming in late. Whittlesey does some spoiling, but has him freed. So Maynard will put Norwood right back into attack.
Well, Rodney Maynard was instigated in that previous bit of passage of play, just still wandered down, and his opponent in Dutton made no attempt whatsoever to pick him up.
Weston made a long lead. It's a Pindo now, but Reed to contend with, pushes it out intelligently, picked up by Richardson, goes for a handball, gives it to Pike, a long handball from Pike back to a Pindo, fucking around a bit. This is Painter, they'll get out of trouble, and the double blues through Scott Russell, little short pass out towards centre wing, gives it to his brother Kim, and Kim, who looks very much alike to his other brother, is kicked forward looking for a teammate, and that was Scotty Field, but the mark has been taken, or the free kick, take your pick, to Roger Murdoch. Murdoch gives it to Thomas. Thomas at half-back. Good-looking kick by Thomas. Out comes Nichols, first touch in league football. Good mark. Didn't make a mistake. Showing no signs of any nerves. He's played 3 Foundation Cup matches. Good kick by Nichols. It'll go across the face, and the mark's been taken by Weston. And Paul Weston gets a big cheer from the crowd as he takes that mark right on the boundary line. He has to look for someone in a more central location. It was a Pindo. Weston wasn't able to get that pass across to a Pindo successfully, and Sturt will get out of trouble.
From the half-back line, Richter puts him down to the centre. A good mark taken by Kim Russell. One of the 2 brothers back in from injury. Up to Painter, bit of space on the centre wing, in towards the left forward pocket, and the good lead, David Walker. That's better movement, Sturt. We've got to see a lot more of it. Now, Kitschke's one-on-one in the square at the moment. Get it in there quick. The high ball. Rodney Maynard. Well, what a strong mark Rodney Maynard is. Beautiful judgment. Puts it out towards David Payne. Whittlesey late, spoils. Down to Frost. Quick handball. Scotty Field. Left foot goes astray. Just the minor score to Sturt. They need goals desperately. They're on 3 goals for Norwood, 12 goals 8.
So we've played 12.5 minutes. Tom Warhurst to put this ball back into play. He favours the grandstand half-back line this time. Looking out there for Sturitsky. The umpire comes in and adjudicates that Sturitsky infringed last year's Magarey medalist Whittlesey. Whittlesey down ground into the forward pocket. Out comes Kitschke. Couldn't complete the mark. He just can't grab those footballs at the moment. Those kicks in. Damien Kitschke, he needs to fire. Knocks it over the back. Oti. Back it goes to Painter. Lennon. And Lennon has a shot at goal, and it's offline. In fact, it's a behind and only just a behind.
I would say that at this stage, Kitschke's confidence would have to be well down after he's received a real buffeting, hasn't he, today from Tom Warhurst, and he wouldn't be going for marks with any confidence at all at this stage.
Well, the half-forward line of Sturt. Chance for Lennon. It's stolen from him by Richardson, but in there to support is Scott Russell. Big crush of players out there on that outer side half-forward flank for Sturt. And the umpire will bounce. It's umpire John Hilton. The other umpire in attendance is Randall Devison. He's now played 14 minutes in this 3rd term, and the lead is 57 points in favour of Norwood. But there's Scott Russell for Sturt, driving goalward in front. Kitschke, stolen from Warhurst, pushed towards the boundary line by Justin Scanlon, and once again that organised defensive unit of Norwood working well together.
And hasn't Justin Scanlon fitted into that Norwood defence that just come on like a hand into a glove?
Plenty of experience. He's done it all before. As you say, he just fits in there like the proverbial hand in the glove. There's the throw-in. Kitschke doing the ruck work. Muster puts it out in front of Thorpe. Here's support from Payne with a bad handball. Thorpe again to Maynard. There's plenty of support. It's there all the time. Maynard's little pass, a Pindo. He'll give it back to Maynard. And another bounce. Outer side, he's got James Pike down there from his half-back line. Dropped what he should have taken. Good tackle by Visser, holding the ball. Play on. Pike, the chance for a goal. Another defender. Has he kicked one? Yes, he has. So James Pike, well done. Norwood 13 goals, 8, Sturt 3 goals, 5.
Well, it's been threatening to do that all day, hasn't he, Pike? Streaming down the ground, giving handballs away, receiving them back, and that time he kicked his first goal.
Yes, and he dropped a mark he should have taken, but didn't he redeem himself magnificently well? 13-8 to 3-5. 10 goals, 3 the difference in favour of the Norwood Redlegs. They defeated Glenelg last week by 11 points. Sturt went down to Port by 31 points. And the way things are going at the moment, we've still got over a quarter to go as Sturitsky has spelled it does look as though Norwood may well win this game unless Sturt do something amazing or pull something out of the box, because at the moment it's all Norwood and they're winning all over the ground. A stab kick there by Pascoe, and that'll be the advantage. It'll be a throw in the left forward pocket. So it's 13-8 to 3-5. We've played 16 minutes. Danger signs for Sturt as time is running out on them. Desperately got to get some goals, and at the moment they don't look like doing that. Kitchke is being well held by Warhurst, and the little men of Norwood are doing as they like. 16.5 minutes gone. 30 is Pascoe. Got it down to Nichols. Around the corner by Thomas. Out comes Weston, but it didn't matter because the mark has been taken by Visser, and Visser is directly in front. He's already kicked 2 goals, 2 valuable goals, and little Darren Visser should not miss this. He's got a chance to put Norwood's 14th goal on the board, and that's exactly what he does. 14-8 to 3-5, 17 minutes gone in the third term.
And a good anticipation there by Visser. It wasn't a beautiful kick there by Keir Thomas. He was right on the boundary line, had a sense of mind to put it back into the middle where you at the top of the goal square, where you should always kick from those boundary lines. And Visser, knowing what he was going to do, was in the right spot.
A little touch of courage there by Visser too, Dexter.
Yes, he had 2 or 3 players coming at him, and but he's a courageous player. You have to be a courageous player to be a Rover.
You're not wrong there. They get in the bottom of those packs, the little fellas, and Visser is no exception. He's just bobbed up with 3 goals too, so a Rover that can do that is going to be a good contributor. So umpire Randall Devison. The lead is 69 points in favour of Norwood. That's a huge lead. Justin Scanlon, little handball through to Big Hine, who bent the back well and now hooks the ball around the corner towards Pike. Scott Russell there. First to recover is Pike, with plenty of attention from Russell. Free kick. Well, James Pike, he's done it all since he made his return to league football. Last week, absolutely brilliant. This week, perhaps not quite as brilliant, but he's done everything right, including kicking a goal. It's Frost, hands and knees, out to Whittlesey and turn OT. Has another player wide in Leanett, and forward they go. Towards the left forward pocket. Coming out Warhurst. He's called that plenty of times today. Only tapped that one as far as Kim Russell. Now the chance for Painter. Surely John Painter won't miss. He hasn't. And that's a desperately needed goal for Sturt. They now go to 4 goals 5, trading Norwood 14 goals 8.
Well, John Painter's second goal, and it was an understatement, really, John. It really was a needed goal for Sturt, but they look a long, long way. We're back 10 goals, 3 behind, and only a miracle could see him get up from here.
Well, still a long way to go, and footy can change, but it is a big margin, isn't it, Dexter? 60-odd points, and we've played almost 19 minutes of the third quarter. I mean, we're not writing them off at all, but it's going to be very hard, because 10 goals is a long... is going to be very hard for them to make up. But it has been all Norwood so far today. Leanett did very well last week. There's a chance for Sturt to go forward. Frost, one of the defenders, gave it across looking for Whittlesey. Now Whittlesey's got a chance, but he runs into a brick wall. Back it goes to Odie. He's kicked off pushed off the ball as he kicked it away. And Warhurst, who's playing a big game for Norwood, gets away from Kitchke again. Leanett couldn't take the mark. Lennon tries to handball around his body, and the mark has been taken by Norwood. The kick is a poor one, though, and it's out of bounds on the full, and the free kick will be taken by Reid, number 21, for the Double Blues.
Duncan Fosdyke receiving some treatment in the middle of the ground. Looks as though he's got a hit to the face.
Duncan Fosdyke has played a fine game today. His experience has been very telling. How often do you see him on the end of a string of handballs, and he delivers the ball beautifully?
It's a beautiful kick, okay.
So Norwood forward again through Justin Scanlon. Oh, up high was a Pindo. Couldn't complete it. McWilliam crashes through. Leanett. Scotty Field. Brought down by Fosdyke. Got the handball away, though. Quick little one from Russell to McCarthy. And forward they go. Big pack under it. Walk is one of the players. Well scored by Jared Thorpe. Lennon tried to hook it around, but straight out of bounds on the full. The free kick to go the way of Norwood. Lennon in the screen. A free kick to be taken by Roger Murdoch. No, he hands it over to a teammate in Jared Thorpe. Thorpe down to the centre wing. Lean it up high, couldn't take the mark. And Nichols in there. Tried to get a handball away. It's effective to Thomas. Now on to Sturitsky. In turn a Pindo. In towards Weston. Up he goes, off his hands. Garvanese put that one over the boundary line. I think he just wanted to steady things down there a little bit. Give the Sturt defence a chance to bottle things up. And the throw-in is on the left half-forward flank. Norwood in attack.
21 minutes gone in the third term. 14-8 to 4-5. Frost into the centre. Murdoch. Good mark in front of Odie. He's kicked a couple of goals too, Murdoch, the defender for the Norwood Redlegs. He's at left half forward at the moment, looking for a lead downfield. That wasn't quite the kick he was after. There was a couple of Sturt players. Richter was one of them. It bounced off of his chest. And umpire Jack Hilton will come in and ball it up about 25-30 metres in front of the Norwood goal, and they're in attack again.
That just epitomises the way Sturt have played today, the way that ball bounced off the chest here of Richter.
Oh, here's a chance for Thomas as he swings it round his body. Another goal to Norwood. Keith Thomas gets his third goal, and Norwood their 15th.
Well, that's the way Keith Thomas plays the ball. He always plays the game of football. He always makes himself available there. On another occasion, there was a loose ball. Thomas skirting around the outside of the pack and ran into what was a really easy goal.
So well done once again, Norwood, and they are totally in control of this game. It's a tight, strong defensive unit that is setting up attacks time and time again. Centre-line players, in particular Fosdyke, using it brilliantly. And also Sturitsky doing a grand job against Whittlesey in a forward line that is mobile and very creative. Complete game by them. Oh, Thomas weaves his way through the pack in the centre. Puts it high to half forward. A Pindo, McWilliam over the top. But a Pindo's strong. 45 to 50 out, directly in front. He's been an impressive player today, Anthony Apindo. His strength is very telling. He kicked a goal in the second term. David Reynolds back onto the ground for Sturt. I didn't see who went off, but we'll give you that in a moment. That's a bad kick by Apindo. Pushes it out to the right. But good recovery after the attempted mark by Pascoe. But he's put it off the side of the boot just for the Miners score. Well, I didn't see who came off there, but David Reynolds went on for Sturt. We'll try and pick that one up for you, but perhaps Sturt feel as though they need a little bit of extra height around the ground.
I would suggest Leonard was off. I would suggest Leonard was off, and he was a very tired boy by the look of him, and Sturt are hoping that Reynolds can give them a lift around the ground.
This is McCarthy. Reynolds setting himself, had it knocked away from behind. Fosdyke was one of those players in that pack, and there'll be a throw-in on centre wing. It's 15-9 to 4-5, and it really has been a procession so far. We're 23 and a half minutes into the third quarter. Whittlesey hasn't stopped trying. Scanlon with a big tackle on Lennon. Forward goes Sturt, but that wall, that big defensive wall, and Maynard gives it across, and another good player has been Murdoch. Centre wing, looking for Vizza. Out comes Pascoe. No, it was a Pindo actually, knocked away, picked up by Reynolds. Painter, dispossessed, then had time. He's a very skillful player. Richter. Oh, very strong tackling out there by Hine. Thomas from the centre of the ground. Weston tried to manoeuvre himself to take the mark. Pascoe, can he redeem himself? That's got to be holding the ball, is it? No, it's play on according to the umpire. He was just a little bit slow there, and took a long time to get rid of that ball.
It looks to me as though Pascoe has been shifted down to full forward, and I can't quite sure who went up to centre half forward for Norwood, but
well, the free kick has gone the way of Norwood. It's going to Steve Richards, and he's had an impressive game today. His first half was very good. He had some 11 kicks or so. A lot of very good touches they were too. This time he has the chance from left forward pocket, a fairly tight angle. Distance about 40 to 45 metres. Comes in, the breeze pushes it just to the left too much, and the Miners score only. Norwood 15 goals 10, Sturt 4 goals 5.
We've played 25 minutes. 25 minutes. Third quarter. A kick in from the fullback, Darvanese. Knocked it away and knocked it in play. Payne. Sturitsky it was. Fosdyke, who's had a million touches. a Pindo. Has he been paid the mark? No, he hasn't. It's a Sturt mark. Field took an age to get rid of that. He was a bit lucky. Painter goes forward. Back it goes from Richter to Painter, and then Painter short. And Painter has found a teammate up forward, so that's Dutton. They need to get this ball moving fairly quickly, and they need to get some more goals on the board because they've only got 4 goals, 5 at the moment. Oh, good play there by the Norwood defence, and that was Ivan Muster. But Sturt still with possession. This is big Reynolds.
In the centre square is Reynolds. 2 centre-half forward he goes. An easy job there for Hine just to put the big frame in front. And now he has the support of Tom Warhurst, and hasn't he given out plenty of support today? Keith Thomas couldn't quite hold that, but look at him fight on. Now puts it out in front of Weston. Beautifully done, Keith Thomas. That's the value of the man. Places those kicks wonderfully well.
He always knows what's going on around him, Keith Thomas. He made the mistake there, dropped the mark, but he was still able to recover, and that's really poor defensive work by Sturt.
Good work by the Norwood forwards. Kept it wide open, gave Weston room to move, and with his kick from 40 metres, brings up his second goal, and Norwood moved to 16 goals 10, killing Sturt 4 goals 5.
Well, Paul Weston has led well all day, creating opportunities up there, and a perfect 4 for the big men. On that occasion, he was on the end of a pass from Thomas, and made no mistake.
It's a nice shot there of a supporter.
He looked like a Sturt supporter for a while, but when he smiled, he's obviously Norwood.
Yes, he was. One would get that impression. 16-10 to 4-5. 27 minutes has elapsed in the third quarter. All sorts of trouble now for Sturt. Norwood going along quite nicely. Fosdyke tackled and thrown to the ground. But he's had a big game, Fosdyke. And umpire Devison will come in and ball it up almost in the centre of the ground here at the parade. A big crowd, a capacity crowd, one would imagine, just looking around. Pike, the half-back flanker, had an enormous game last week, and that's an enormous kick. And a Pindo, did he push him out? It's Pascoe, in fact. And the umpire says that was fair, and Pascoe has it. And he's kicked 1 goal and has the big chance here to put Norwood's 17th goal on the board. So he's taking plenty of time here. Number 30 for Norwood, Andrew Pascoe, kicked a goal in the second quarter. He's underneath the scoreboard, virtually directly in front. And there's the kick. It's on its way. It's straight through the middle. And another goal to Norwood.
And a good strong mark, good use of the bodywork there by Pascoe. He just edged Wellesby out. It could have been deemed as a push in the back, but the umpire said no, that was fair. But once again, that attack was set up by a procession of handballs, short, sharp handballs out of the middle by Norwood.
Coming up 29 minutes in the third term, and well, what a great game by Norwood. 4 goals 4-0 in the first term, where they gained control at the start of the game. They banged on another 6 goals 4 in that second term, and Pascoe has just kicked their 7th goal so far in the third. So they've gone from strength to strength. It's been a wonderful performance by them. Hine again wins another tap. He's done that most of the day. Scanlon coming through strong from half-back. Storitsky, who's done well in the centre, up to Pike, who's done brilliantly in the back line. In towards Weston again. Pascoe there this time. Payne coming in, but McWilliam. Strong in defence for Sturt. He's got to be their best player. Puts it out in front of Lennon. Plays on quickly down to the half-forward line. Painter used the body well. Taken off him by Scottfield, who bounds away. Through half-forward, short pass, David Walk. That's better work by Sturt, from full-back all the way up the ground, kept control. We haven't seen them in control too often today. Walk kicking into a slight breeze, 45 metres out. It's a good long kick, not quite the distance. The Norwood spoilers were there, and it's out of bounds. But there's the siren to end the third term. Another good one to Norwood. 17 goals 10, the Sturt 4 goals 5.
I have the result of the red.
Start of the last quarter here at the parade. It's 17-10 to 4-5. Norwood have done it particularly well all day. They've had the wood on Sturt for 3 quarters. Lennon gets the tap forward. And here goes Whittlesey, and Sturt need desperately to get goals. That's a good kick by Whittlesey. It's not going to quite carry, and it'll be forced through for a behind. And Kitchke's had a horror day, John.
He has, but I think it's been caused by the fact that up ground the Sturt players haven't got enough of the football and haven't got it into him as quickly as what they should. But Norwood have gone on their merry way. This is Lennon. He's on the half-forward line. Kitchke's down at full forward, and the kick's in that direction. Uses the body well, couldn't get two hands to it. David Walk, the quick snap is offline, and just for Minor and Dexter, they can't do a thing right.
Well, it's been one of them days for them, hasn't it? The ball's bouncing the wrong way. That kick there should have just rolled the other side of the goalpost, and Sturt, as we've mentioned before, having a really horror day.
This is Maynard, got it from the fullback Warhurst. Maynard's kicked down ground towards centre wing. The bounce not favouring Nichols. Sturt with the footy at the moment. There's a chance for Scott Field. McCarthy doing the shepherding. Scott Field goes down ground looking for someone. There's no one there though. Goes over the head of Kitchke and Walk, and it goes through for another behind. So another behind to Sturt, and they move along to 4 goals 8. Norwood 17-10.
Norwood have just gone from strength to strength. It's been a great performance from them. 4 goals in the first quarter, 6 in the second, 7 in the third. What can they do in the final turn? Or indeed, can Sturt make some sort of inroads to this lead at the moment, which is some 84 points in favour of the Redlegs. So in centre wing, out of Stide. A couple of minutes gone in the final term. 17 goals 10. Norwood plays Sturt 4 goals 8. Keith Thomas has got some important touches today, clever touches. That one, though, is marked by McWilliam, probably Sturt's best player. Certainly hasn't given up trying. Here's another one, Greg Whittlesey. But Storitsky has done a particularly good job on Whittlesey today. Down towards Kitchke direction again. Got one hand to it. Paint it quick as you like. Oatey couldn't handle it. Ivan Muster. Did another good perform in defence for Norwood. Jared Thorpe has done his job as well, but that time the pressure walked too much and the kick out of bounds on the full. And David Walk appears as though he wants to take the free kick as well, and does. Good 50-55 metres from goal. Kitchke is lurking in that direction. It's a strong kick. Breeze bending it a little bit. Kitchke in front. The spoiler was Hine. Easy as you like. Intelligent football to throw in left forward pocket.
And that's the advantage of having the big man back there in defence when there's a shot for goal. Extra height, and he behind there punched the ball over the boundary line.
Almost 4 minutes gone in the last quarter here at the parade. The big game between Norwood and Sturt. Reynolds drifts back and takes the mark. An easy one too. Goes towards centre half forward, and the mark has been taken by Lennon. Lennon looking for some sort of movement up forward. Scott Field offers a lead, but he decides to go it alone right down into the teeth of goal. The big pack fly, no one able to take it, and it's hit the post and is a behind. The third behind for Sturt in as many minutes. The crowd a little frustrated, particularly the Sturt crowd. The Norwood crowd wouldn't be too frustrated. They'd be pretty happy with themselves.
Oh, Tom Warhurst. Direction of James Pike. Oh, what a wonderful player. He's done well again today after a brilliant performance last week. Pushes out to the centre wing. Duncan Fosdyke dropping back on it. And his use of the football today has been particularly good. Apindo, he's been strong. Richardson, he's been a very useful player too, particularly the first half. Good pass, Pascoe. He's been a safe avenue at centre half forward most of the day. Appears to be down at full forward now. Weston stepping in front. Darvanese did it well. So to relieve the pressure for Sturt. William leading out on the half-back line. Little pass, finds that player. William, definitely Sturt's best player in my opinion anyway. Long ball to the centre wing. Reynolds is there. Off the hands. Maynard tried to get the handball out the back. Finally it goes to Murdoch. Bobs and weaves through the pack cleverly. Little Vizza. He's been a busy player. In towards full forward. Nichols. Beautifully done. Nicely delivered ball, but Nichols got in the right spot, Dexter.
He read that ball off the boot of Murdoch very, very well, then glided across the side of the pack and marked truly.
Well, Nichols came onto the ground from the interchange bench. Has exerted some influence on the game. It's his first league game, in fact. And now he's shot from 30 metres out as across the face of goal. The occasion a bit much for him. In fact, out of bounds on the full.
17-10 to 4-9. Played 5 minutes in the last quarter. Hind from the side, almost a big mark. Ball very close to the line, but Whittlesea's good enough to keep it in play. He's a brilliant player, Whittlesea. Painter showing a lot of pace, and so is Muster. Experience of Painter. Back it goes, though. This time Tom Warhurst feeds out a 20-metre handball. Maynard goes wide to the outer side of the ground. Thorpe underneath the scoreboard. Now he's looking for someone up forward. I think it might be Richardson. The kick is poor, though, by Thorpe, and he wouldn't be happy with that. Crowd giving the Bronx cheers, and it's out of bounds on the full. So it'll be Reid to put the ball back into play, looking for Kitschke. Walk it was. 17-10 to 4-9. They need a goal, Sturt. They can't get back into it now, surely, but a goal would certainly make a difference. And they've got what they wanted. So Lennon was one of the players who instigated that, and it was Kim Russell who put it on the board. And at last, Sturt get another goal, and they move to 5 goals 9 to 17 goals 10.
And like everything they've done today, Sturt, they've had to do it the hard way, and under enormous pressure all day from the Norwood defence. And on that occasion, their 5th goal coming at only the 5-minute mark of the last quarter, and a disappointing effort by Sturt.
The Sturt have done all the attacking in this final term, and they've kicked some 1 goal for so far in that first 5 minutes, so that's better from them, but it's just a touch late. That's Visser putting it out wide. Richardson will be first to it. It doesn't bounce favourably, but he's good enough to get it up. He had good support in shepherding, and now his left foot kicker, Pindo in front. Good mark. Gee, had his eyes on that one. You could almost had his name written on it. He was so determined. And the young body is very strong. He's shown that today in some clashes with McWilliam. It's been one of the highlights of this game. So another chance from about the same position he had a couple of minutes ago where he missed completely. This time he's at least brought up the minor score. Norwood to 17 goals 11, Sturt 5 goals 9.
And what a very important player Pindo is going to be in the future for Norwood. And there we see Rodney Maynard in a bit of trouble with an ankle injury. And if he has to go off the ground, I don't think it'll make much difference to the Norwood setup. But he's been a very attacking player from centre-half back for Norwood.
Yeah, a lot of their defenders have been attacking as such. Pike has done particularly well. He's an attacking defender. And Maynard as well, and Murdoch, of course, has done particularly well. He's kicked a couple of very useful goals. McWilliam to the outer side, Frost out there in opposition to Fosdyke. Frost with a left foot kick, centre wing. Players set themselves. Reynolds from behind. Dutton. First there is Muster, and it trickles over the line. I guess it has been particularly disappointing for Sturt followers because they did particularly well last week, and they showed a lot of determination and set up a big lead in the first quarter as Lennon gets a kick forward against Port Adelaide. And they've shown no signs at all today. But as John Robinson mentioned earlier, the ball just hasn't been coming into the forward lines, and because of that, Kitschke hasn't had the opportunities. And when he has, Warhurst has always been there to knock it away. He's had a big game, Tom Warhurst.
Certainly has, but let's give a lot of credit to this total Norwood performance. They simply haven't allowed Sturt to settle at any stage. They've been in control right from the start, and they've maintained it all the way through. So umpire John Hilton from the half-forward line of Sturt, out of side near the scoreboard. Chance for Muster, got it back to Warhurst. Now Painter plays on quickly after marking, in towards full forwards, across the face. Maynard getting back there, but it's out of bounds on the full. So Maynard with the free kick. Just part of a very strong defensive unit today is Rodney Maynard. Jared Thorpe just giving the ball back to him. Here's another member. And you can go on. The Tom Warhurst, the Justin Scanlons, etc., etc. Neil Hines the target of the kick. Stepping in front with Scott Russell. Now Reynolds taps it through, but only as far as the Norwood defenders again. Justin Scanlon out to Fosdyke down from his centre wing. Chips back to that position and finds Muster. Been another good performer. Now to half forward they go. There's a Pindo. Quickly on. This is Pike up from the back line to Richardson, to Payne, who's been quiet in the second half. Into it now, in towards full forward. But dropping back and judging it nicely, David Wellesby. Haven't they had their hands full, those defenders? This is Darvaniza. Thomas stretching to get to it. Can't quite. And the ball beats he and his opponent, which is Scott Russell, out of bounds. And the wall a bit hard there, Dexter.
Well, it appears to me that at the moment, Norwood perhaps just going through the motions a little bit. If I was Coach Norwood Barham, I'd be giving a bit of a G up and trying to get a percentage win here.
17-11 to 5-9. It's a big percentage already, but I agree with you, Dex. It looks as though they've just gone off the boil slightly here. Norwood, they know they've got this game well and truly wrapped up. Darvanese, Painter, out it goes to Frost. The ball bounces kindly to him, and that's perfect work by Painter. He really is a star player. And Kim Russell now about 40 metres out decides to give it to Dutton. He's going to put him under extreme pressure, and this is just typical Sturt so far. They've been making mistakes, but this is a little better now, and just as I speak, it goes straight through the legs there of Scott Field. Painter goes short, and Whittlesey has the ball something like 45, 50 metres out directly in front. Well, it put Dutton under extreme pressure, and that was where the mistake started. And luckily for Sturt, they still have possession. So let's see what Whittlesey can do. It's a long drop punt into the square. Kitschke comes out, goes over the top of his head, and hands it through for a behind.
Well, actually, the Sturt defence was so good. The Norwood defence was so good then that actually forced Sturt backwards 50 metres before Whittlesey was able to take that shot for goal.
Poor John Painter was so involved in that passage of play. He must be wondering what he has to do to get his teammates to kick a goal. That's Scanlon out towards the centre wing. Whittlesey pushes it down in front to Kim Russell. Good evasion from him, but tackled strongly by Muster. That's been a feature of Norwood's play today too. Painter again to Russell. Little chip pass out to Oatey. Ooh, bad bounce for him. He's beaten to it by Big Hine. Now Visser, play on is the call as the whistle went. Chips one out to the centre wing. Weston takes tangled with the Sturt trainer, but then gets the hand to it, pushes it out to Murdoch. Strong body work too from Darvanese. Oatey. This player's free. Ooh, Lennon, you're going to be under pressure, and he was from behind, but good enough to get through the pack. Oatey runs into trouble. Back to Lennon. Now Reed. Finally they go forward. What's going to happen? Muster. Well, this Norwood defence has just been too good. There's another member of it. Oh, it's not. It's Duncan Fosdyke down from the centre wing. Well, he's been down there a lot. James Pike, that's a member of the defence. He loves going forward. Look at the pass, Pascoe. Been a safe avenue, as I've mentioned previously up there, Pascoe. A very impressive young player. Payne caught behind in front. Richter stolen by Payne. He'll have the snap from the pocket. Puts it up. Across the face. Minor score only, but well done, David Payne. What you call cheeky, I think.
He actually, quite sure the Sturt defender then was a defender. He'd marked the ball. He certainly looked that way, and Payne was able to steal it away from him.
So the Double Blues scoring just 5 goals 10 as Fosdyke takes a very clever mark. Norwood 17-12. It's 114 plays 40. Maynard has come out. He may have injured himself, but he's been paid the mark, and he's got a big chance here to put another goal on the board for Norwood. Hasn't kicked a goal yet, Maynard, but he's straight in front. It's an awkward looking kick. No one able to take it. It didn't reach the distance. Oatey went straight past him. Players falling over. Here's a chance for Richardson. No, went past him to Thomas, and there'll be a ball up something like 25, 30 metres in front of the Norwood goal.
Rodney Maynard been used in defence for most of the day. He knows how to kick goals, though. Last season, in fact, with 50 goals, he was Norwood's top scorer. But on that occasion, the kick just wasn't good enough for him. This young Visser being wrapped up by Oatey, two of the very young players out there, and inexperienced, but certainly two players with heaps of potential for their respective sides. Umpire Devison, 30 metres out from the Norwood goal. Good tap by Wellesby. The defence is trying to get it out. Richardson got shoved out of it by Richter, who then gave the handball across to Dutton. Forward they go, charging out his walk. It's taken off of him. Scanlon is run into. Thorpe gives the handball to Muster. Half forward for Sturt. Good handball by Lennon to Painter. He's clever. Kitschke finally got one. Turns, bolts towards goal. He's kicked his second for the game, and Sturt have kicked their sixth. They're now 6 goals 10. Norwood 17 goals 12.
Well, it eventually had to happen, didn't it, Sturt, to kick a goal, but there was good play there, but they sort of pushed the ball forward, Sturt, not in a very good fashion, but it got the desired result. And Kitschke, on one of the very few occasions today that he's been on top of Tom Warhurst.
Just the 2 goals kicked in this quarter, both by Sturt. And 17-12 to 6-10. Well and truly into the last quarter here at the parade. Lennon round his body, desperately trying to get someone up forward. Murdoch, one of the attacking defenders. Maynard out very wide to Payne. Bullet-like handball across to Richardson. Thomas. Good kick. And that's going to go through. No, it's a behind. So Keith Thomas not online then. 17-13 Norwood. And it's 6-10 Sturt.
What a wonderful passage of football there, though, by Norwood, with a series of handballs, all starting from the half-back line. Typical of how they played today. That was McWilliam marking, them playing on, but run down by Sturitsky, who battles on hardly and wins the free kick. So well done, Sturitsky, against McWilliam on that occasion. He's done well, too, to certainly lower the effectiveness of Greg Whittlesey in the centre of the ground today. There's a lovely pass put out in front of Pascoe, and that was by big Neil Hine. And his kicking has certainly improved. Pascoe been a real live wire, very prominent in this last term in particular. So the left foot kick is long and low and straight. So Pascoe is on line. He's just kicked his third goal. What a good effort from him. And Norwood moved to 18 goals, 13 Sturt, 6 goals, 10.
Well, one of the young brigade at Norwood, a very good player, only 19 years of age, and at this stage it looks as though he's come into the middle to have a go in the ruck. Hine passed that ball to him, a beautiful kick by Hine. Now Hine has decided to go and have a rest in the forward pocket and let one of the young fellas do it.
For a big fella too, he's a particularly smooth mover. He moves very well, and of course, like typical left footers, the kicking action looks great.
They always look good left footers, don't they?
So it's Leonard and Pascoe doing the ruck work for their respective sides. This is Frost. He got it from Lennon, and Frost goes deep into attack, into the attacking zone for Sturt. That was Kitske who got up high, and that was Jack Painter who kicked the goal. And he's got his third. And he has not stopped trying all day, Dexter.
Well, he's one of the very few Sturt players that can perhaps hold his head up high today. He's worked hard all day, all around the ground, and particularly in that forward line. And that's just reward for his hard work today, that goal.
So there hasn't been a lot of good players for Sturt, has there, Dexter? The other one perhaps has been prominent is McWilliam.
Yeah, he's done a very good job on the back line with the big fella Rapindo, and he's another player, perhaps only one or two that could hold their head up and sort of drink their beer tonight and feel comfortable about it.
So umpire Randall Davison to get things underway once again. Norwood leading 18 goals, 13. Sturt are on 7 goals, 10. And we've played 18 minutes of this final term. Richardson out to Pike. He hooks that ball back. He's got a player in Apindo. He did, and he found him, and Apindo crashes through. But the kick is just offline, and that was wonderful football once again by James Pike. He was running very fast, but had the presence of mind to look, saw a Pindo there, and got it to him very effectively. It deserved a goal. Kick in is by Wellesby. Leonard up high, took a good mark, but once again, another big man from Sturt that hasn't done enough of that today. The kick from Leonard, down in the direction of Dutton. Flew high, couldn't complete the mark. Kim Russell left it behind. Payne didn't. Got it across to Kim Nichols. Now down to Keith Thomas, who's having trouble getting it up, but they are battling the ball forward, slowly but surely. Finally, as Richardson appeared to be breaking free, umpire Davison holds it up and will bounce. Centre wing, grandstand side. 18 goals, 14, 122 points, Norwood. Plays Sturt, 7 goals, 10, 52. Tap went the way of Leonard. Muster got the handball out to Pike. Clever evasion, puts the ball out in front of the leading Paul Weston, and he's got it. Quickly on in a flash, Sturitsky just ran a bit too far with the ball. The good pressure came from Darvanese, offline and out of bounds in the right forward pocket. And James Pike, you can't speak highly enough of his effort today. Won that ball well, clever evasion, perfect pass to Weston. So the throw in, right forward pocket. Weston gets the tap, puts it into vacant spaces out in front of goal. Visser and Richter race for it. Richter pushes it across the face of goal towards the boundary. Fosdyke is there. Richter again, and finally out of bounds for the throw-in. It's between the left forward pocket and half forward flank of Norwood on the outer side of the Norwood Oval. 19 minutes played in the final term. The lead is a massive 70 points in favour of the Redlegs. David Odie breaks free from the throw-in. Luxury of a couple of bounces, carries him down to the centre wing. Now the kick to half forward. Lean it there, got the hands to it, couldn't mark. Kim Russell. Too slow. Two defenders onto him. And the free kick against him for holding the ball, going the way of Justin Scanlon. I think both Russell brothers today showed that they were suffering a little bit from lack of match practice. Thomas at half-back. High ball into the centre. Maynard's got it all set up. And he completes it. Good mark is Rodney Maynard. Messes up the handball somewhat, but Nichols good enough to get out of trouble. In towards the left forward pocket. Pine bends the back well. And a somewhat loose handball is picked up by Sturt, but in turn another loose handball is picked up by Nichols, and a loose pass is parked by Darvanese. So a little comedy of errors there for a while. And here's yet more of them, as McWilliam almost messed that up. And now his pass finds a teammate in Tony McCarthy. Has been very quiet today. Started at centre half forward, looked totally out of position. We normally see him on a half back line where he is at the moment. Payne tried to get the handball through, but the support there is by Storitsky. Long bomb towards full forward. Behind is Weston. Couldn't complete the mark, but fights hard on the ground. Got the handball out to the teammate in Pike, who's right up in the forward pocket. He's a backman. The kick went across the face. It's been marked by a teammate. And another little short pass has found Darren Bison. Oh, James Pike, he loves going forward, and that occasion he was right almost in the goal square. The chances with Darren Bison. What a fine young player he is for Norwood. The little rover has kicked 3 goals. Now with the left foot, he picks up goal number 4. So as a rover, he's been busy around the packs all day, picking up a lot of touches, and capped off that fine work with 4 goals, and that's a good effort. But it's been a good effort all round by this Norwood side today. A very tight, strong, attacking defence. There are a couple of players from back there have in fact kicked goals, they being Murdoch and Pike. The rest have supported each other wonderfully well. They have won most of the balls around the centre line, which has provided plenty for their forwards to finish on. Pascoe now having a run in ruck. Scott Russell, Scott Field, Dutton, Otie, the chance to settle. 40 metres out, directly in front, offline. So nothing going right for Sturt. David Otie kicked 1 goal in the second term. He's had a couple of other opportunities, but unfortunately hasn't been able to convert. Warhurst kick in after stopping and starting again, gets to Murdoch, and he carries it across the line for a boundary throw-in over under the scoreboard here, which is between the right forward pocket and half forward flank of Sturt. The scoreboard showing Norwood 19-14, killing Sturt 7 goals 11. The difference is 75 points in favour of Norwood, and that is somewhat of a drubbing. In this final term though, Sturt have kicked on a little bit. They've added 3 goals 6, so they have been doing plenty of attacking, whilst Norwood have added 2 goals 4. Free kick to Pascoe. Played centre-half forward and full forward most of the day, switching backs and forwards a bit. Now having a run on the ball, but he's been very impressive and has kicked 3 goals. 1 in each of the second, third and final quarters. Leanett makes another mark, but it's all too late. He's taken a couple of good ones in this final term, but not enough in the first 3. The other Sturt big men, Kitschke and Reynolds, have also been down on the day. Painter, he hasn't. He's been an inspiration to his teammates. Scott Field has worked hard. It's back to Painter again. He's given it to Whittlesey. Another hard try for Sturt. Out in front of Lennon. Muster in close attention. So too Maynard there in support of his defensive teammate. Muster working hard once again. Pike back there also to support. Gee, he does it well. He's so cool. Maynard, the short pass doesn't find its mark, but Scanlon good enough to gather it. Got it to Thorpe. Now Thomas has Pike again. Pike kicks to half forward. Good mark. It's been taken by John Richter. The back pocket player for Sturt. On to McCarthy. Across the half back line he goes. Scott Field's out there all on his own. Gathers, plays on. Lead is by David Otie on the half forward line. Finds its mark. Now we're waiting for Kitschke to move. He's not going to. He's content to stay back in the square. Gave Otie nothing to kick at. until Whittlesey finally moved into position under the scoreboard. It's a long way from goal still. Could perhaps make the distance with his best kick, but he has Kitchby in the square. Getting back against him there are both Pascoe and Warhurst. So Whittlesey, it's high ball, it's long, it's offline, just the minor score. Sturt moved to 7-12, a bit of inaccuracy there by them. They're trailing a very good Norwood side who are on 19-14. Difference is 74 points. Warhurst, a little undecided, now goes out into the pocket. Jared Thorpe made it very dangerous for him as he was met by Whittlesey. A short pass in finds Kim Russell, and that was cleverly done by David Walk. Well, that was dangerous by Tom Warhurst. I would suggest that it's the first foot that he's put wrong all day, so perhaps if it can be forgiven. So Kim Russell, 30 metres out, directly in front, kicks away to that northern end. It's a belated goal. The second to Kim Russell and the 8th to Sturt. They're 8-12, Norwood are 19-14. But a bad kick in from Warhurst was snapped up by David Walk in a clever little left foot pass. Found Kim Russell free 30 metres out from goal, and he completed it with his second goal. The two Russell brothers today back into the Norwood side, both from injury. Kim had been suffering with a groin muscle problem. His brother Scott had had a bad wrist, but they both appeared to have suffered a little bit today from lack of match practice, but they are still very good players for the Sturt side. So umpire Randall Devison, as we've played a minute or so of time on in this final term, gets play underway again. Leanett wins it at the second try. Painter taps it through, but only as far as Maynard. The players stack up in the centre of the ground. The ball wasn't going to come out free, so umpire Randall Devison decides to bounce again. 68 points now the lead in favour of Norwood. 2 minutes of time on gone in the final term. Leanett into the back of Pascoe, so Pascoe proving effective in the ruck as well. Left foot kick is put out in front of Pike, who couldn't complete it as he ran with the flight of the ball. Scott Russell puts it down to Dutton. Bit too high for him. Murdoch with pace beats him to it. Gets the handball out the back of sorts to Jared Thorpe. Back to Murdoch again, in the back. And Murdoch, who took that brilliant mark last week, which featured in the major press. Wonderful mark. He's taken a couple of good ones again today. Nothing like the one of last week, though. And in fact, he's raced up forward on a couple of occasions to kick 2 goals. Jared Thorpe, flanked by Maynard, now kicks towards half forward, David Payne. Had a good first half, died out of it in the third term, and now coming back into it in the final. 15 metres, as David Odie came at him from behind. Now umpire Randall Devison explaining to him where he went wrong. David Odie, that is. But David Payne with the ball. A bit closer to goal now. He'll need his best kick. He's about 45 metres out, kicking into a bit of a breeze to the parade end. It's a good strong kick, certainly got the distance, but offline to the right, and a minor score only. So Norwood moved to 19-15, leading Sturt 8-12. Norwood have only added 2 goals 5 in this term. Sturt have added 4 goals 7, so they've definitely had the better of this final term, but of course the game was all over at that stage. David Otey tapped it down, followed it up. He's under pressure. Came from Justin Scanlon holding the ball. Justin Scanlon started on the interchange bench today. We believe he may be playing his 150th game, but we'll try and check on that for you later. Certainly, if it's not, it's very, very close. One of the features of his game is his strong tackling. There's Pike again doing clever things. Puts it forward, Kim Russell. This is gone. By John Hilton will bounce the ball. Just discussing the point with a few players there. I'm sure Norwood saying, I think that was holding the ball. Kim Russell saying, I agree with that decision entirely. 20 metres out from the Norwood goal by John Hilton to get play underway again. We've played 4 minutes of time on. There can't be too much time left to put Sturt out of its misery. To finish off this game, which has been a particularly good one for Sturt. Well, for Norwood, sorry. They lead by 69 points at the moment. Now they've got a chance to go a little bit further ahead, and that chance is with the big ruckman Newell Hine, who has shown what an advantage his season with the Brisbane Bears has been to him. He appears to be a much better player. His kicking in particular is one facet of his game that is far better this year than I've seen it in the past. That's an example of it, as he puts a goal on the board as the siren sounds to end the game. What a wonderful effort by Norwood to finish on 20 goals 15 to beat a very lacklustre Sturt 9 goals 12. Sorry, 8 goals 12. Just the scoreboard attendants will get out of the way.